What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Skyler Gonzales. Welcome to the Northside Talks podcast. Today I'm joined by the usual suspects. Got Johnny Goodridge-Reid. Sorry, we got Emmanuel Creppin. How you guys doing?
Yes, we are back.
We're back.
It's been a minute.
2 years.
But we're back and we're better.
We're back and better. And I don't know. We'll lightly address the last 2 years. Life happened. That's what happened. Guys got jobs. You know what I mean. Everything else happened. But we're back. So you know what I mean. Now the podcast back near the top of the priority list. Coming weekly episodes this time. Consistency. We're also gonna have Milan on. For those of you that are familiar with the podcast, Milan's a crucial part to the podcast, so he'll be on all the other times. Just prior commitments this time is what it is. Life happens, like I said. So yeah, for those that don't know, I guess Northside Talks podcast, sports and entertainment. That's how we get down. That's what it is. Coming in, basically giving you all the hot topics, hot takes, new perspectives from the north side of the border.
Hot takes? That's Emmanuel right there.
Yeah, Emmanuel is the hot takes. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I have great takes. I don't know what y'all
But so today we got, at time of the recording, it's actually NBA opening night. The Celtics just beat the brakes. They beat the brakes off the Knicks. They beat the brakes off the Knicks for sure. Nice little 20-piece start the season. Almost broke the NBA record for the most three-pointers with 29, tied it. So we were talking some NBA, NFL, a little bit of soccer, a little bit of music near the end. And so without any further ado, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Now I'm sure you guys saw it already. I think it came out, or it was coming out over the last week or so, maybe last few weeks or so, ESPN's top 100 list. Have you guys got a chance to look at the list, or?
I took a peek, but I mean, ESPN and their list, I hate them. I'm gonna just be honest. They're foolish. We call that CTESPN. Anyway, floor is yours.
I mean, I get it. You're never gonna find a list that like everybody agrees with. Like that's literally, especially a top 100 list. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But I jotted down a little bit of, I guess, the main takeaways of, I guess, the standout stuff. Now, to me, one of the I don't know if it's necessarily one of the biggest ones, but a standout to me obviously is Wemby, who is getting into his second year. He's 11th on the ESPN list. Shout out to San Antonio Spurs. That's kind of hot. That's like, are we feeling that? Is that just right? Is that premature? How you feel? This is a guy that's played one season, y'all.
Yeah, but I think it's just right, fam.
You think it's right?
Because he's legendary, fam. He's an alien, bro. Like NBA players are telling us they've never seen anything like him. You feel me? So it's like, and I'm saying like offensively and defensively too. What I like about him is his approach to the game. He plays both sides. Like he's not like one of those people like Luka, no shade, that's just chilling. You feel me? On defense too, he could have won Defensive Player of the Year. He was in a conversation for that, and that was his first year in the league. The second years, everything's gonna slow down. He's gonna be even better. So can't disagree with 11.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Jelani, what do you think, bro?
I think honestly, like I like Wemby a lot. I think 11?
11.
I don't know if that's pushing it. Maybe but honestly,
who's better?
No, that's what I want to say, because I'm like, I want to say no, but it's like, damn, he can do this. He can do this. Already Rookie of the Year. He almost got Defensive Player of the Year in his first year. We don't see that, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm thinking, for me, I think right now, only seeing 1 year of him, I'm putting him bona fide top 15. Gotta be in your top 15.
That's okay with me.
I know.
For sure.
I know people are gonna be like, oh, but he hasn't done this. He hasn't done that. I'm just going based on what I've seen with my eyes, with my two eyes. Okay. I remember that one game he had against Denver, which messed up their seeding, which messed up ultimately their run, because the Nuggets should have had a different path to the chip last season, but he went off that one night in San Antonio. They were at home, and Jokic and them, they couldn't handle him at all, right? So I just look at games like that, and I think moving forward this year, we're gonna see a new version of Wemby, a Wemby that has 1 year under his belt, a Wemby that has another year, obviously with Popovich learning,
CP.
and CP, yeah, perfect. CP, perfect guy to be right there for him. We're gonna see that pick and roll go crazy, right? I can't wait for that. I think the learning, because CP3 is one of the most, intelligent basketball players to ever play. So having a guy like that on his team, come on, man. So yeah, Wemby, 11. Some might say pushing it, but all I'm gonna say is, for me at least, he's got to be top 15. That's all I'm
So
gonna say.
put it into perspective.
Like,
I'll put it.
talent.
Yeah, I'll put it into perspective. So I'm looking at the list now. Again, I'm not saying I agree with all of this, but this is how they went about it. So at 15, they got Devin Booker. We're good with that? Wemby's better than Devin Booker because that's what it is. Look at Emmanuel. What's going on?
Yo, but but it's impact, and I think they're looking at it like how this is gonna be next year, like this year. But cause Book kind of hit his prime already. Wemby, like first year to second year, we still expect a jump, and from what he did in the first year, that jump would be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Cause that means he wins Defensive Player of the Year. That means CP setting him up. He's learning all the dirty tricks. He might become a dirty player.
He's getting the whistle now all the time.
Shirts on tie, I don't know.
So it's Devin Booker at 15, Jaylen Brown at 14. Me personally, I'm okay with that. Jaylen Brown's better than Devin Booker. I don't care. I don't care. After last season,
but you shouldn't be that low, fam.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. But I'm saying like just in terms of 15 to 14, like thing, Jaylen Brown is better than Devin Booker. Okay, we're good. Anthony Davis at 13. Wemby still, we're good.
Ooh.
A little controversial.
Y'all know how I feel about AD, but
it's tight. It's tight. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not as clear cut.
We agree JB should be, fam. If you win MVP of the playoffs, fam, I feel like
top 10
should be at least top 10.
You're right.
I think so, fam. Why do they do this to him?
but let's Skyler tell us who's in that top 10 though.
Okay, so thank you. We're gonna get into that. All right, top 10.
I want to see it.
So number 10, we got Anthony Edwards. Personally, I feel like it's a little low, a tad low. I'm not saying he's top 3, top 5, but like, given the season he had last year, that guy was a monster. Like that was a
7, 8.
I would be okay with 7, 8 ish, depending on it could be argued. It could be argued 7 and 8, but they got him at 10. Okay. So whatever. Okay. At 9, they got Kevin Durant. I'm not mad at it. It's okay for me. That's fine.
I'm not mad at that.
This one, I have a problem with. Y'all should know this already. For those of you that know me or anything like that, I have a problem with number 8. Number 8 is Joel Embiid. Get him out the top 10.
Ooh.
Get him out the top 10.
Get
him out the top 10. Out of the top 10.
That is.
He could be 11. He could be a strong 11.
No,
but he's not in the top 10. I don't care.
Things like that.
No.
Look. Yo, wait, hold on. I'm the biggest hater of Joel Embiid. You guys know this. Anyone that knows me know I'm anti-Joel.
Yeah.
However, I cannot subscribe to that take.
I can.
He's not your top 10? He's not your top 10.
No.
Embiid is as good as anyone in the league. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, wait, time out. First of all, that saying, I get that saying doesn't even make sense. As good as anyone in the league, that doesn't make sense. Jalen Johnson's in the league, but you know what I mean? Like,
what I'm saying is, he could be the best player in the league. Like, there's nobody better than him. He almost won MVP. If he didn't go down, he would have won MVP.
Okay.
There's nothing he can't do on the court, fam.
Stay healthy. He can't stay healthy on the court. That's what he can't do.
That's fair.
That's the biggest thing. And the thing that irks me with Joel Embiid, first of all, the thing that irks me, he's like one of the most talented big men of all time, if not the most talented big man like of all time. The frame, the footwork, the ability, it's there. Stop flopping. Stop jumping up and down. Stop rolling over. Stop. No. Not everybody flop. Giannis does not flop. You know why? Because Giannis is a grown man. Joel Embiid is a
Yeah,
grown man. You don't need to resort to these kind of tactics for you to jump and get in. You don't need to do that at
I don't
7 feet
know.
tall. I don't know how
I
much he
feel like
weighs.
Giannis is gonna start like I don't know. Most of the league flops. Like you can't really like look at JB, and I like
Nah,
JB, but that
So
pump fake, someone jumps and you jump into
you're
nah,
it.
but
right.
like
No, that's
this is
thing.
excessive though. Like Joel's are excessive
But I feel
They're
sometimes.
like him is
crazy.
But
because
again, just going back to like, oh, okay, Sky, like, so if he's not top 10, like, where are you putting him then?
I said I'll put him a strong 11, but if we're going off the fact that okay, we're good with Anthony Edwards at 10, and I even said, or we said 7, 8 ish, whatever, and now we said before Jaylen Brown is in the top 10, so we got to bump somebody out. Wemby might be in the top 10. Someone's got to come out, and
But
right now
I
it's him.
can't. As much I like Wemby a lot, but I can't put him in and beat out. That's right now.
That's fine because I'll do it. You know, I will. That's okay. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Skyler, man. Yo, this is one of this
No,
is
wait.
football,
No, no way.
Years ago he was MVP, fam.
He was MVP, and the thing is, bro, like I said, I think he's one of the most talented big men ever. And like I was saying it during his MVP season, I did want him to get MVP because at that point, I think he was third or second for the last 6 years. Like Giannis got 2 in a row, Jokic got 2 in a row. So at some point, I was like, all right, give it to him because he's been, you know what I mean, understandable. I'm just not a fan of the flopping part. Now, to address your point, Emmanuel, I don't know if you guys must have seen it before. It's older now. It was Iman Shumpert was saying it back when Iman Shumpert was like getting on to like podcasts and everything like that. He said something because he's talking about LeBron. He says something about there's a difference between flopping and selling a call. Joel flops. Like I'm gonna put my arm underneath your arm and try to shoot. That is flopping to me. Selling a call like when LeBron's driving and someone bumps, so he throws his head back and then think that's selling a call because it is a foul. You just don't know it because I'm a freight train. Joel is flopping. He sells certain calls, but his flops are excessive.
And that's like saying Neymar flops, so he's not one of the top. He's not been one of
And
the
look
top
at what
football
Neymar accomplished, bro. I know it's harsh
I
to
know,
say
but
because of injuries, but look, like, you know,
I don't
but
know.
I feel like you just said
I can't do
yourself.
this. I can't.
Over the past few years, he's been either top 2 or top 3 in MVP. How
For
do you
sure.
go from that to getting him out of the top 10? He's been consistent.
So it's
Outside
Yeah,
of
like
outside of the
that's
flopping and outside of the injuries, which is the biggest thing. Speaking of the injuries, I'm sure y'all saw it. He's not playing back to backs. What do you mean you're not playing back to backs,
yeah,
bro?
I can't. Emmanuel, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Like that's
that was
insane.
crazy. I'm not gonna lie, but that's because, fam, you guys know why, fam. He got paid. He got the team. Fam, the 76ers are asking him to take them to the promised land.
Yeah, as
And
you
they're
should.
willing, yeah, but
Can't
they're
play it
willing to
back.
compromise
Can't play
their
one back to
season.
back. One back to back.
I don't know about one, but I feel like they came to him and they were like, bro, we want to win now. So you can't get hurt. Because every time he tries to play, he's always hurt in the postseason. So they don't have a real chance, fam. No Embiid, no ring for the Sixers.
So okay,
they're
so
like,
shouldn't that affect his legacy? Not I don't want to say legacy, but like
did
his
Kawhi not
standing,
win with us?
huh?
Did Kawhi not win with us?
Yeah, but the Raptors were
After he
actually
did all-
properly constructed to be able to withstand that. Philly is not.
but the
Paul
Sixers
George
were-
is already out for the first week. I feel bad for
outside of
Tyrese
that-
Maxey, bro. Like he's got 2 veteran guys, 2 veteran superstars, and guess who's gonna have to face the brunt of the minutes? Him, because those 2.
And usually, like Tobias gets hurt at some point. Usually.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like Kawhi did it, but
don't know.
we could support that. The Philly can't support that.
I feel like if
I don't
Paul
know.
George stays healthy, they can.
But look at what
still-
happened. He's already injured. The season hasn't started.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I knew it. Like people knew it was gonna happen. I'm not gonna be say I knew it. We knew it. Let's be honest. Deep down, we knew it. Philly fans know it. Nick Nurse knows his team is screwed because they're too injured, bro. It's just how it goes. But I
don't know.
digress.
I
We
can't-
can leave Joel in the top 10 for you guys. Whoop-de-whoop. But for Skyler, out of there. Anyways, LeBron at 7, which is remarkable because the guy is a senior citizen. Do we have arguments with number 7? Do you think higher? Do you think whatever? I'm
For
okay
real,
with it.
You can make the case for that top 5.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you
You can
could.
still make that case. You're 22, but I haven't seen a drop off. I've
I know
like
that.
barely seen a drop off. Like he's still capable of putting up triple doubles here and there. If he
Mhm.
has to score around 30 or north of 25, he can do that.
Yep.
He's still a pure assist man. Um, and I don't know how he's doing this, but like literally, there's games last year where I was like the best player on the planet,
Yeah.
right? And even if you're looking at the Olympics, like he was running things, like, and you're talking about a team that was obviously way younger than him, and still the guy that they lean on, the guy they defer to, the guy that does everything, LeBron. So at the end of the day, and even people like at the time were like, "Yo, is he the best player in basketball?"
Yeah.
Right? Because of the way he was playing. So I wouldn't say he's like the best in the league, but in year 22, I don't think he's the best in the league. I don't think that's prime LeBron we're getting. But bro, you're telling me he can't be in that top 5?
Yeah.
Bro, you can make arguments for that.
The thing is, I feel like the top 10 in general is like any given night you are the best player in the world because your game is on right now, and you know what I mean. So I feel even with Anthony Edwards, who's at 10th right now, I think on any given night he's probably the best player in the world because the Minnesota Timberwolves are playing right now. You know what I mean? Like that's just how it goes. Emmanuel, what do you think about it? Are you good with 7 or?
I think 7 is fair to the rest of the league because I think they know that, like Jelani said, he can turn it on whenever, but he also knows that he has AD. I'm not gonna lie, AD had a phenomenal year last season, and I kind of went under, because people kind of expect AD to always be hurt, but last year he did pretty well. So I feel like LeBron, like, it's fair. 7 is fair because SGA guys like that, they're going like super crazy. So they kind of deserve that nod too at some point. So
Yeah, that's facts. I feel like with LeBron, I don't think it's necessarily like a regression, but I feel like it's like his effort got smarter in the sense of, and I think he's allowed to do it because AD's been healthy that last season. I'm pretty sure AD came off like his healthiest or second healthiest season. I was looking at it before. I think the only season he had where he played more games was like when he was with the Pelicans though, like 2017, 2018. So I feel that's the reason why he's able to do that. But at 6, you got Steph Curry, which again, no complaints for me.
My guy.
I'm okay with it personally. If anything,
that's my guy right there. He's top 5. I'm sorry.
Well,
just like I said with LeBron.
I agree with you. I
agree
with you because 5 is Jason Tatum, and I'd bump him down a little bit, slightly. I'd bump Jason Tatum out of it a little bit for Steph, even for LeBron maybe.
I put.
You can't
for JT right now.
I trust Steph. I trust Steph more. I trust Steph more.
That's true, but if I'm building, like, I don't know, fam. Jason Tatum just had the easiest 37 points. Yo, fam, when you go watch the highlights, you're gonna be like, it's just easy for that kid right now.
Yeah.
It's easy.
It's easy until the games are hard. Now it's not.
Finals, he had,
wet the bed.
Stinker.
Wet the bed.
I know he did, but that's the only.
I think Steph, bro. I think. Look, the Warriors are not gonna be good. You know that.
Not at all.
But but when it comes to Steph Curry, I think he's still in my top 5 at least. Is that bias? But
bro, I got him. He had 2 0-point games last year, fam. I don't think Jason Tatum ever had a 0-point game.
Yeah, but
bro, but yo,
but Emmanuel.
Having 0 points is crazy.
But Emmanuel, you said it yourself. You trust Steph more than you trust Jason Tatum. When the games are hard, I trust Steph more than Jason Tatum. So how are you a top 5 player and when we're in the conference finals, I don't trust you?
Olympics, bro.
Because I feel like, yeah, you're right, bro.
You're
right, but I feel like this year is the year Tatum might have an MVP type year. Because I think he's going to be tired of the disrespect that happened in the U.S. Jaylen Brown won the MVP. Jaylen Brown kind of showed him up in the playoffs.
He did.
The only way I would see Jaylen Brown being in if you switch them, because I think when it came down to it, JB showed that he's the man.
He did.
And I've been telling you guys that.
Yeah.
I've been telling you guys they're sleeping on him, and he showed up.
JB is the number 1 in that playoff run. He was the number 1.
Yeah, because I was like, look, as much as I like JB, I was always saying, yo, it's Tatum's team. Like, Tatum's won. But on many nights we saw last year where it was JB. But it's been that way for a couple of years, like, honestly, because, and he was even on Stephen A. show. He was saying, like, there's no one on our team, technically. It's like some nights I defer to JT. Some nights he defer to me. It's just depending on matchup. Depends on who's out there on the floor and stuff like that. But I mean, again, like I think right now with the way the Boston Celtics, I know it's one game, right? But just in roster construction, they're obviously going to be on a deep run again. I think they might win it again, to be honest. But we'll see how it goes. Like with JT this year, I like what Emmanuel said though. I think MVP. He's not my pick, but I think this year he's got that chip on his shoulder. You know what I mean? Like what happened this summer was kind of crazy, and not seeing the floor enough in the Olympics. I think that really lit a fire under him. I think we'll see that Tatum that people are like, yo, we want to see him with a motor. We want to see him with that hunger that sometimes Brown has that Tatum might not have. I think their dog is in there for Tatum. I definitely think he's a dog. He's just got to show it more, right? So because sometimes he doesn't. Like let's just be honest. But for the most part, he does though.
But like, I feel like
Sometimes.
bro, talent wise, they're 1-1, and I know that's how JB feels, but I don't think in the structure of the team, fam, the way like the organization is looking at it, Tatum is 1, JB's 2, and the media kind of reflects that too, and I still don't get why. I feel like at this point they should put more respect on JB, but I think off the court does too many things.
That's why.
Tatum's a media darling. He's like
we were talking about this the last time, Emmanuel. I don't know if you remember this. We were out I don't remember where we were, but you were saying it, that the reason why they're pushing Tatum more is because I feel like he just fits what they want the NBA to be. Like look what happened when they won, bro. The guy went on a plagiarism tour, said we did it. Oh my god, what they gonna say now, bro? The guy was copywriting everybody shamelessly. I don't know, bro. But Jason Tatum at number 5. Number 4, we got Shea. I'm good with that. I think Shea had a much better season. I think if we're talking about going back to kind of what Jelani was saying with roster construction, I think the Thunder are just more built for Shea to have good seasons and just be more of what he was this last year, which was, I think, wasn't he not top 3 in MVP voting? Like at one point for the majority of the season, like he was
going crazy.
I'm ready to win, bro.
Yeah. He was hooping, so I'm okay with him at number 4. Number 3, we have Giannis. No complaints from me, really.
Man. I'm not gonna like this top 3. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not gonna like this top 3, bro. I can smell it coming, bro.
There's only 2 other players that should be ahead of him.
I know, but I don't like those names. I don't think they should be there.
You don't think Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic should be there?
Luka. Yes, because
especially the should be MVP.
Wait. What did he say?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
You want to win, you gotta play defense. I don't care, fam. There's no best player of the league outside of these 2. That's my problem with them, Jokic and Luka. Defensively, fam, these guys are like, Jokic could be average at best. Luka's mediocre, fam. They have the low light of him in the playoffs. That's when it matters the most. Forget the regular season. We'll talk about the playoffs. And honestly, to me, he kind of disappeared in the finals defensively, fam. They were running through him, bro.
Okay, wait. So are you gonna? Do you have Jason Tatum over Luka Doncic?
No, hell no.
Okay, because then we would have had an issue with that.
He choked
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, I just want to make sure where we were at.
Well, Emmanuel, where are you putting Luka then? He's not like your second best.
I think it can be 3rd or 4th.
Okay.
I feel like 4th.
Okay.
Because I think Giannis plays hard. I think if Giannis wasn't hurt, he would have had a better playoffs. And I think Giannis is the best player in the league. To me, he is. Because I think offensively and defensively, the impact he can have on one game is crazy, If he had a better team, and I hope this year they kind of figure it out with Dame. Like Jokic, I'll be honest, I don't like Jokic because he doesn't like the NBA.
No, yeah, I hear that.
He back, fam. Every chance he gets, he's like, yo, I want to play with my horses. Jokic is not the guy to me, personally.
I hear that. And the thing is with Luka, first of all, I think Luka should have won MVP last year. Personally, I think he should have been the one. The stat line, bro, 34 points, 9 rebounds, and 10 assists. And you didn't win? And you got to the finals? What the heck? I know it's a regular season award, but damn. Hey, You know what I mean?
Okay, but to be fair, can we be honest, fam? His usage rate is through the roof. He plays no defense, fam.
Sure, sure,
If we're being
sure,
honest, I would be surprised.
Where's
sure.
Milan when you need him?
But
Where's
all these
Milan
guys'
right now?
usage rates are through the roof, bro. They're all the number.
No,
These are the best players in the league. I don't know the
It's just
percentages,
like
but is
yeah,
Luca's
because his is
usage
like a
rate?
bit. It's like with like Harden when he was on the Rockets. Like it was a bit
yeah.
more
Yeah,
than a
and
lot of
he won an
everyone else. It was
MVP, and
just like
people were good with
it was
it.
way
Like,
more. I think
I
no,
know,
but I think I'm with Skyler. Like I think
yeah,
I was making some cases last year for Luca. Like at times I was like, okay, whoa, this guy kind of looks like the MVP right now.
yeah,
I think honestly, like I don't have an issue if you're saying he's third best in the NBA or fourth best, Emmanuel. I don't have an issue with that because it's really just like Emmanuel's really pointing out. It's like preference, right?
yeah,
Because in that top five and that top four, it's real. Like you got to nitpick,
yeah,
obviously.
for
So
sure.
and yeah, Luca. Like I think last year we saw a bit more effort defensively, than usual. Obviously, we're not expecting him to be like I don't know, like Gary Payton on defense, but there was more effort there at least, and I think that's what Jason Kidd also talked about. Like, we got to get him going, I guess, on that
Yeah,
side of the ball. So yeah, I don't have an issue with that. I think though with this list, I'm okay with Jokic being number one. I believe in Jokic FC. I have been in Jokic FC. I will remain here. I think that Nicola, obviously the Nuggets didn't get it done in the postseason, but we'll see what they do this time around. The question with the Nuggets is just like, can they get back to the mountaintop? Their bench doesn't look the same, obviously from 2 years ago or
yeah.
2 seasons ago. They got Russ in the building, but obviously, like people
How
are
do we
like,
feel
oh,
about that?
what's that gonna? I think it's a good pickup for energy. Like it's
Yeah,
energy off the bench, right?
yeah,
But I'm not expecting anything crazy.
yeah.
I
I
know
don't know.
Emmanuel's like, yeah,
Okay, but Jelani, on one point, just clarify this, just yes or
yeah.
no. You think he put in more effort? You said like overall, right? In the playoffs, fam, in the finals, bro. You can't tell me he put in more effort and there's a low light real, fam. How many
Who
low
Jokic
light?
or
No,
Luca?
no, 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 Luca.
Oh,
But the thing, yeah, but
I
effort.
think I think the effort. I mean, it was. I'm comparing because I'm comparing it to previous years. There was more effort defensively. Again, if you're looking at the tape, you're gonna be like, "What is he doing on defense?" But there were games where we actually saw certain possessions where, yeah, okay, thank you.
Yo, this
You're
guy
actually
making up possessions, fam. He
before he
should
did
never get
before
there.
no, because before he didn't give a damn. Like let's just be
Yeah,
honest. Like before he didn't give a damn about defense. At least last year we saw a bit of it, a bit of it. So we're getting there. It's slow, baby steps, right? But we're on the way.
the thing is, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I fully agree with you too, because I'm one for two. But that's why I was saying. That's why what we just said before with Jaylen Brown being the number one for the Celtics over the playoffs was because he was doing both. He was guarding the best player, and he was literally their best player on offense. So I get what you're saying, but I think it gets to a point where for Luka and Jokic, the offensive production that we were seeing is like, bro, we haven't seen that many times before. Like it's literally like unstoppable what they were doing. I get what you're saying. Now, as far as the defense goes, the effort thing from Luka, unfortunately, that guy's capped defensively. Like the most he could do on defense is the effort part because he's not quick enough to stay with nobody. Like he just doesn't have it. At least
Yeah.
Jokic is a 7-footer that at least, you know what I mean, put my arms up 10 feet, 11 feet tall now. You know what I mean? Like that's still an issue. Luka's, was he 6'7"? Which is like, you're a regular height basketball player. So defensively, effort's only gonna get you so far. So I hear what you're saying though. I just feel like the offensive production kind of outweighs it.
Yeah, I
But
think that
Skyler,
just for me is like third, like in the league,
That's fine.
behind or honestly fourth because
SGA,
Jokic, Giannis and Embiid got to be there, in my opinion.
Skyler. So you're telling me if you put SGA and Jelani too, if you give SGA the usage rate that Luca has, you guys don't think he could average just as many points, if not more?
Well, he was
Because
close
yeah,
last
but I
year.
feel like SGA got to pass to more people. You know, there's more players like Chet Holmgren.
Yeah, but Luka plays with Kyrie.
That's it.
But Kyrie accounts for J-Dub, for Chet, for all of them. That guy is a ball handler. What are we talking about?
Yo, Chet Holmgren can average like 17. J-Dubs might average 20. Like, all he has is Kyrie. And Kyrie, he's kind of streaky sometimes. Like, in the finals, he went to bed. If we're keeping it real.
You're right. You're not wrong.
And the playoff run a little bit, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, bro.
I hear what you're saying. It's just I rely more. I would trust Luka more to get me a 30 piece over Shea. Not that I think Shea averaged 30 points by the way. So he averaged 30 points, but I'm just saying like
he has the most 30s.
The way
games.
I just think it's the way
that is true.
The way Luka plays, I feel like I don't know, bro. I just feel like it's a more for surefire 30 piece, 40 piece, even whatever it is. It's a more efficient. It's a more efficient way of playing.
Respecting him, I guess. He's respecting him, I think.
Yeah.
Because Luka for me, like, he's top 3. Because Embiid, again, I got an agenda against him, so maybe Embiid pushed down to 4.
That's crazy. Think about the top 10, bro. But anyways.
Nah, joke, yeah.
Other notable
Embiid,
things.
He's good, but he's annoying.
Yeah. Other notable things from the top, from the ESPN list. This we don't have to spend a whole lot of time on this, but no Russ in the top 100. Yeah. We're good with that.
Yeah. Where's Russ?
99 players better than him?
Please. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he should be in the top 50, but like.
What? Denny Avdia in Portland better than him?
You see what I'm saying? Like, hold on. Let me see who's at 100.
I don't know.
Russ is more of a minus than a plus. It's what you guys don't get. Like,
is he better? Is he better than Anthony Simons?
No, Anthony Simons, Anthony Inferno. That guy's a problem.
I'm asking the question: is he better than Anthony Simons?
Jelani, if you lie right now. Come on,
actually, hold on. Time out. Take Anthony Simons out of this because I personally don't agree with how they have this. But I mean, it's like 100 to 95 we're talking right now, so no one really cares. But is Jalen Suggs better than Russell Westbrook? Jalen Suggs is 95th. You think Jalen Suggs is better than Russell Westbrook?
He's great. He's one of the best defenders in the league for his position. Jalen Suggs is tough. He does his job, fam. Jalen Suggs is gonna bring more to your team than Russ. Russ is gonna bring you a headache, fam. You might fight his teammate.
I don't know, bro.
You know the morale is gonna go down.
Jalen Suggs, by the way, did y'all see that guy just signed 150 mil for 5? Like, you know how much that just messed up the market, bro.
That's crazy,
because he's the future, fam. He's actually not as bad as you guys.
Yeah, but he's not a $30 million a year player.
Paid. And like Jalen Green got paid.
Anunoby has the biggest contract in Knicks history. Anunoby, fam. Come on.
But he's better than Jalen Suggs in every aspect.
But not history. I feel like what we're comparing. You're saying Jalen Suggs got 30 mil. Anunoby got the biggest contract in the history of the franchise. That shouldn't be.
OG.
Dude, that's a different franchise.
You gotta have real conversations.
What? Why?
I don't think he's that guy. Like I don't think he's him. I don't think he's good, bro.
You don't think he's good, or you don't think he's as good as people say he is?
Yeah. Like I think he gets gassed up too much. And I liked him here, obviously. Thank you very much. But I think like defensively, of course, like he could give you that effort that you need. He could be that guy on the perimeter for sure. But there's some times where there's games where I'm watching, I'm like, this is who they gassing up? Because there's like talks about like when he was on the trade market before he went to New York, they're like, yo, he could be this and this and this for a championship team. He could become a mini Kawhi for these guys. I'm like, what? And I know he also wanted to move on because he wanted a bigger role offensively. What have I seen? I haven't seen anything crazy in New York, right? And I know he's hurt. That I'm not taking that. Like obviously, he might get hurt, whatever. But when he's on the court, I don't know. Because even now they got McHale in there. I think McHale's gonna have more. You know, no.
I think Mikal Bridges fell off a little bit.
I don't know.
I wouldn't go that far. But
Too much money.
Yeah.
What's up with the shots?
I don't know
They
what
look
the
kind
heck
of
happened.
whack,
He's
but
looking like Markelle Fultz, bro. I don't know what the heck that's about.
but what I'm saying is like they're to me like same level because mans
They're
were saying
comparable.
like yo OG's this and this and this.
Yeah,
They were gassing him up a lot, and I know it comes with the territory. He's in New York, so
of
they're gonna
course.
gas him up. But I'm like, pump the brakes.
I'm
I
not mad
feel
at
that, but I think it comes back to what that word Skyler loves, fam. Intangibles, you know? I think
Mm.
OG has those intangibles, fam.
it.
It's
Yeah,
like that's why he was so high valued in the trade market. They know what he brings off the court too, you know?
yeah.
But it's like Russ, a guy like Russ, come on, fam. He's gonna give you 10
So
turnovers.
and then Mike Conley was 98. Is Mike Conley better than Russell Westbrook?
Fam, for your
Right
team
now,
right
yeah,
now.
right now,
If
yeah.
you
I
if
think
you
so.
need one guard, you're gonna go with Mike Conley. He's more
Because
solid.
Okay,
he
then
played
shoot. I
some,
guess he
yeah.
doesn't deserve to be on the list then, based on
Nah, because
that.
I'll just say, yeah, Conley played some valuable minutes in the playoff run, right? I know he also had some games where it's like, okay, where are you at? But that
Skyler,
guy.
fam, let me put it to you like this: you put Russ in when you're ready to throw in the towel, bro. When you know the
Yo,
game's
nah,
over.
okay, let's have a little bit of
Nah, you
respect.
see,
Let's
like,
have
For
respect. See,
real,
you're
that's
at
taking
the
it
end
too
of it,
far. You're taking it too
you
far.
I feel
trying
like
to
that's
win. When you
disrespecting.
trying to win the game, you
Nah,
don't play Russ.
you're taking it too far.
I don't like that
In the
disrespect,
case,
man.
like today with the
I
Knicks,
don't like that
put it
disrespect.
Russ. Put that Russ in.
You're taking it too
I
far.
don't
I
know.
don't agree with what you're saying. I would squeeze him in at 100, but who cares? It's like
He's
100 to
got the talent,
95.
I
I
think.
really,
He's Russell Westbrook. Like, give him
that's
that
what I'm
respect,
saying.
man.
The only
Gotta
other
give him that
thing
respect.
that I wanted to point out with the list,
Yep.
and I think we said this earlier. I guess the list is based on what they project guys to be like this upcoming season. I guess
Yep.
so. Given that, let's put it into perspective. At 22, 21, and 20 on this list, okay, is Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and then Ja Morant. Are we good with? I mean, Kawhi's out
Should be.
indefinitely. Paul George, we just talked about, and that's how that goes. Ja looked good before he got injured and after he came back from playing with guns. You know what I mean? So as long as he can stay away from that,
Fam, Jaws a lime wire though, bro. Like
he is.
imagine you talk to the commissioner, fam. The
Yeah.
commissioner takes time out of his day to schedule a meeting and have a
Yeah.
sit down with a man named John Morant. For
Yeah.
him the next week to do the same thing, fam. Come on.
Yeah, so that's what I'm
Look,
asking.
man,
What do we think about that? Are we good with
that's
him?
crazy.
Are we good with
I
them
think
there?
I'm fine with that just because he was hurt last year, right? So we didn't get
Mm-hmm.
to see him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to remind everybody who he is. If he's
Mm-hmm.
healthy this year, he will remind everybody what he can do because I'm seeing a lot of people forgetting that John Morant is in this NBA. I know he was out 1 year. I know Memphis, they fell off because all their injuries, because even like Steven Adams was hurt and stuff like that. So they couldn't do anything last year. This year, if health is there, I expect big things from Ja for sure because he was on that run, like that trajectory before the injury. And a lot of people, it's funny because a lot of people are like, "Yo, did Ant Edwards just steal his thunder?"
I think
Right? So
so.
we'll see. We'll see. I think, yeah, I still think though, Ja is tough and he'll be back. He will be back.
But Kawhi Leonard at 22, Paul George at 21. Me personally, I'm not with it. Yeah, I can't get behind it. I can't get behind it. I get it when you're healthy, woo, whoopty woo, but you're not. You know what I mean? You're not.
He's not. Yeah, he's why I don't know where to start with this.
Kawhi fan.
you know, I was a Kawhi fan from when he was in San Antonio,
He was.
and I was a big defender of Kawhi Leonard. And when he came through Toronto, I was like, yo, we might go to finals. Like for real. People were upset about DeMar, of course. Like I miss DeMar here too. But I knew like, yo, the Raptors are gonna be a better team.
No,
It
yeah,
just
he
went
was
plain
that
simple.
guy. He was that guy.
What? And then we know that he left. I still think at least defend the title. At least defend it. Okay? Like 1 year. Just defend it. And then you can go home. That's the only thing I said. But I understand he went home. But man, talk about the biggest failure. Talk
Yeah.
about the biggest because they were you remember, y'all were there when they had LeBron LA versus Kawhi's LA. Who was LA is it gonna be?
Yeah.
Right? They were gassing up so much. remember what happened in the bubble. LeBron and them, they won their rounds. They were waiting for Kawhi. We were like, yo, Kawhi, hit us up when you find us in the conference finals. We'll be there. They waited on that call because these men they fumbled. But I did not forget what happened. Paul George hit inside the backboard. I like Paul George, but I remember I was there. Right, Kawhi, I was there. We were there in the bubble. and then after that, okay, what happens? 21. They have a good year. Got hurt, right? They went to conference finals. Paul George did all that, but I just think the injuries, like, you can't control it. But at this point, like, you gotta have some conversations now. Like, does he honestly hang it up? Like, I'm so serious because he's never on the floor.
Yeah.
And if I'm a Clippers fan, I am pissed.
Yeah.
Like, we got this new arena. If I'm Steve Ballmer, we got this new arena into a dome. That's what it's called. We got some nice washrooms, by the way. That's what they're saying. Nice they have the big board.
The big screen around the TV. I mean, around the thing.
Yeah. Big fan section, everything for this. And it's going to be hard right? Because Kawhi can't show up. He can't stay healthy. What's the best thing?
Availability.
Available. Bro, so it's tough to see it this way. But the biggest what if is if he stayed in Toronto. What if? Yeah. Like, this is trending towards, like, maybe the top 5 what ifs ever in NBA history, or top 10 at least. Because I don't know what this Clippers experiment is. I don't know what it is.
He's making it worse too, because I just saw something today talking about.
Bro,
you saw that, right?
Timeline, bro. Get this off my timeline.
How he was saying, Emmanuel, did you see it?
I didn't.
He said something in an interview about how he wanted to, like, the reason why he left Toronto anyways to go to the Clippers was because he wanted to find somewhere where he could, like, be a part of, like, a legacy, like building a legacy. Fam, you just won Toronto's first championship ever. That's the best start to a legacy.
That's true.
And you dipped. So now it's like, man.
You're telling me winning a championship in another country that held you down that year, right? A franchise that had never seen the finals before. You're telling me that that's not a start of a legacy? Of something special? Don't give me that. I don't want to hear that. That's why I said get that off my timeline. I don't want to hear it from this guy. Because we was expecting, I'm taking the keys in LA. I'm taking the keys from LeBron. Please. LeBron been to more. LeBron been to more conference finals in LA than Kawhi has. Please. Help me out.
Look, he's won a chip. Now imagine being Steve Ballmer, bro. That's the biggest loser in the NBA right now, bro.
I feel bad for Ballmer, bro. I feel bad because he was expecting something.
I was him out to slap my letter.
But yeah, so that's the top 100. Obviously, it's controversial. Every list is controversial. You're never gonna put out, especially a list of 100 players. You're never gonna put out a list that everyone's like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? So that's obviously just our opinions on it, but whatever, under the rug now. We have a little thing here where we're talking about, every superstar in the NBA, what they need to prove this season, or the biggest question that they have to answer this season. Now, personally, I would have LeBron, KD, and Steph exempt from this because, like, what more are you asking them? What more do they have to prove? You know what I mean? But that's my opinion. Maybe you guys have a different opinion of maybe, so and so needs to prove this, prove that. Just for me, it's like, bro, these guys are immortal, bro. Like,
KD. I think KD, like, he's got an interesting. Interesting legacy.
Let's get into it.
He's, like Emmanuel said, like, Emmanuel, you could take this one, but, like, I think the question with him that people still have is like, yo, like, you bounced from Golden State. What's up?
You're right. Yeah, so what? Prove that he can win on his own? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, prove that he could be the number one option while winning. I think in Golden State he was, but he had such an unfair team. Yeah. It was like, come on, bro. So now it's like you went with the Nets, then you kept moving around, and it's kind of like, okay, you have this super team now. Because Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, 3 All-Stars, they're all supposed to make something happen, And he's been hurt too, but it's kind of sad, right? Like, a lot of players are kind of getting hurt when it matters the most.
Yeah. So, okay. So if we're going to go with that, now, let me just ask you. Let's say he does win on it. Let's say they win this year. Phoenix Suns, NBA champions. Right. Whoop-de-whoop.
That's crazy.
What does that does that change his legacy that much to you guys versus what we already think? Like, what do you guys think of him right now as the greatest scorer of all time? Just a walking bucket. He
Yeah,
already
but and then
has.
he couldn't win.
Yeah,
He
I
wasn't
think
a leader like that on a winning team.
So
You
does
know, we
that
want to
bump
see.
him? Where does that bump him for you? Does that bump him into the top 10 of all time? Does that, you know what I mean? Like, and if it does,
I
is
feel
it
like
because right now he's outside the top 15? Like, where do you have Kevin Durant right now in the all time list?
he's like
Ballpark it. Ballpark.
12-ish to 14-ish
Okay,
yeah, and
area.
I think that just changes the narrative for his career
sure.
because
So
if it today, you know,
okay, fine. Let's say 12 to 14 is where it is. He wins, and now the narrative's changed. What? So does he jump 2 spots into top 10? And in which case, does that really change that much? Like, I'm just asking, just devil's advocate. Where does that put him for you guys?
I would say top 10 if he does that.
So it bumps him at most 4 spots over whoever people have.
It's
You know
just
what I
tough.
mean?
Like the basketball top 10 is the toughest, just because like there's so like obviously every sport, but I think
Yeah,
NBA top 10 is crazy because you got to remove somebody. Obviously,
of course.
I think if he won again, whether that's 3 chips for
That'd
him.
be three
Yeah, I
chips,
think
yeah.
it's true.
I mean, it also depends though. It also depends because another layer to it is okay. Is it Devin Booker that was running things in the
Yeah,
finals,
fam. That's what I'm
or
saying. As a
You're
number
right.
one option,
You're right. I'm
he's
saying
gonna be.
hypothetically, he's the number one guy. He's the,
I think honestly it wouldn't be about like where I don't think it would be more of like his ranking all time.
Yeah.
I think it would just be like just washing away, I guess, the
The
stuff from the
narrative,
past. Yeah,
Mhm.
the
like
narrative
the
was
because
clear.
people still have that in the back pocket. They're saying,
Yeah.
"Yo, again, look at what you did. You really ruined the league, bro. You went to the Warriors. I get it, you won. I get it, you were running things with Steph, but like it was just given to you. It was handed to you. It was easy.
You're right.
And the fact that you're bouncing here and there, and you're up in trade talks and everything, like it's just not what we expected once he left. So I think if he did win, yeah, then people are like, all right, we'll ease up, we'll relax. You
Yeah.
got it done finally without a cast like you once had. It would be something like that, I think.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I feel like, I don't know. I guess this is just clearly obvious in my opinion with the whole Kevin Durant thing. Because like you said, yeah, he did mess up the league a little bit. Going to Golden State, like that was crazy. I don't know if we're ever gonna see something like that crazy in basketball for the next little while. But one thing I feel like I've kind of learned, not appreciate, but like respect with Kevin Durant is he's never doubled back. He never said, "Oh yeah, I was wrong." Like as far as I'm concerned, in his head, he's like, "I'll do it again, and I'll be the number
Yeah,
one
he
guy
points
and
out.
win." That I kind of have not I guess it is a respect thing about it, but it's like stand on what you did. He hasn't backed down from what he did. He hasn't gone back and said, "Ah, I was wrong." Da da da. Whatever. He meant what he did. He was intentional with what he did, and cool. So for me, I feel like I've been able to look past it a little bit. But you have a fair point in terms of what the narrative is around him, because I fully agree with you. I just think me accepting that okay, that's just Kevin Durant, that's just how he did it, lets me key in more on like that's the greatest scorer of all time. Like we might not see that again. You know what I mean? Like a
Yeah,
seven
he's
foot
tough. He's like in
demigod.
terms of
Like
scoring, bro.
yeah, he's a
He's
demigod.
bro.
So
Never seen no Kevin Durant before.
that's what I mean. So that's the way I think about it. But yeah, okay, that's a fair point in terms of so we could have added him to the list in terms of what he needs to prove and everything. So you're right with that. The next one I had on here was Nikola Jokic. Now, questions about it is, can he maintain? We kind of talked about it a little bit. Can they get back to the mountaintop? Because obviously they lost a few key role players. Now they got Russ. He's got to figure out how to mesh with that. I feel like if he wins now with, I don't want to say like wins now with this team as in the Denver Nuggets are bad or anything like that, but I feel like it inches him closer to that all-time immortality thing. You know what I mean? It moves him forward a little bit on the thing. But what do you guys think about it? I don't know.
Emmanuel, that's your boy.
For Jokic is
Yeah.
my play.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be honest, but I like, damn, because I want to separate because I feel like I don't want to come off as a hater. Because at the end of the day, what he's doing on the court has value. It is all time great. I'm not gonna lie. I just don't like people that like, damn, we're paying you all this money. You are like, if you're this good, it's because you want to be this good. So take everything that comes with it. Don't just be like, you feel me?
But
But
do you have
whatever,
that
like.
that feeling with Kawhi though? Because that Kawhi's worse.
Yeah, but Kawhi, I don't think was ever looked at the best player in the league. Like
What?
Jokic,
During
like they
2019, I
Nah,
think
he
he
was.
legit like when
Yo,
he came to the thing, he was a guy,
yo,
one
bro.
year, but it was
it was
like
either
yo,
him or like Kevin Durant-ish or
Let us not
Giannis.
forget.
Sorry,
Let's not
Giannis.
forget. I think I don't remember
Harden.
what year it was,
no,
but before he came
I
to the
don't know.
Raptors, he was. I think he when he
Like
was on the
17?
Spurs, I'm pretty sure he was up 3-1 on that KD Warriors team, and then Zaza went and did what he did,
Oh yeah,
roll
yeah,
his
I
ankle.
remember
But that was because Kawhi Leonard was doing that.
I feel
Oh yeah, no,
like
that was
Jokic's
game one.
peak,
He got hurt. Yeah.
Jokic got what 2, 3 MVPs. I don't think Kawhi is like that, bro.
You're
I
right.
think Jokic is more all time than Kawhi. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course.
That's not
I
a hot
mean,
take.
Yeah.
yeah. So that I guess it would help him if he won again, but I just don't care for the guy, fam. And I don't think, bro,
This,
every team
I'm
Russ
out
goes
here
to,
saying he has to prove this, whatever, because I don't care about him.
I just don't, fam. But
And
every
leave it
team
Embiid.
Russ goes to doesn't do well, fam. Who was the last team that Russ went to and it went well? Please enlighten me, fam.
Well,
Hold on a
let me
second.
just. So there is okay. I know it's not championship. I know it's not champ, and I know we're playing to win the game. But the Wizards went through a stretch of no
What?
playoffs.
Yo,
The
come on,
Wizards.
man. Yo,
They went to the playoffs. They went to the
yo, let's move on. Let's move on. You just mentioned the Washington Wizards.
playoffs.
The Washington Wizards should be banned from basketball. After did you see the top pick in the preseason?
I'm not talking about current Wizards. I'm saying, bro, they didn't go for since John Wall and Brad Beal era, right?
Bro,
With them boys, Gortat, they hadn't been to the playoffs in a minute, and then Brad Beal comes through with Russ and make a playoff appearance. I know they got bounced in the first round. However, I'm just because you asked me what team had some recent success
okay,
ish with Russ. That was a pretty good year for the Wizards,
but
and he played pretty well with the Wizards.
Yeah, you're Jelani Reid, you're GM for your team. Would you consider that a successful year?
Oh no, because I said like we play to win the game, we play to win championships.
Yeah,
But
come on,
I say, look,
Brad was going crazy that year
he
too.
still went to playoffs though, and this is a franchise who had a couple down years.
How long was that?
That was 2021. That was so. I know it wasn't like
4
past
years
3
later,
years.
bro.
I know.
Anyways.
Look, man, I gotta defend Russ somehow, some way.
No, yeah, because Emmanuel takes it a little far. He takes it a little bit
Yeah,
far.
man,
Right?
I need Milan right now.
Russell Westbrook is an all-time great. He's an all-time great
All-timer,
point
all-time.
guard.
One of my
There's
favorite
no
players ever.
debating.
Not right now. Yes, but just not right now.
Yeah, but he's still an all-time great. It doesn't matter what he's doing right now.
Gotta give him that love.
Yeah, you
Yes,
have
it
to.
does.
No, it doesn't. He
Because
already
the team,
reached.
like,
He already
Okay, so
reached
let me
points
ask you-
that people haven't gotten to before as a point guard. So
Yes.
it's
But Skyler, so why do you think the Denver Nuggets got him? The Denver Nuggets are not rebuilding. They're a contending team. They got him because
Yeah,
they
but
believe
they want.
so you're answering my point. Clearly, even in his washed state right now, they believe, yo, this is a piece we could add to win.
To help
Yeah,
us
that
on the
doesn't mean
bench.
they're right.
Energy.
What do you know? That's
Just because they believe. They believe. Believe the Lakers can win the finals, bro. Come on, they put their beliefs. Come on,
Bro. Nah, man, you gotta respect Russ a little bit. But anyways, Luka, I feel like the only thing he really still has to do is, well, it's two most important things. You know what I mean? Is go win a ring, prove you can get them. You can get the Mavs over the hump, go get a ring, and then can you break into an MVP? You know what I mean? Like I said this earlier. I feel like he should have been the MVP this last season. Obviously, competition is always tough. As it wouldn't have been a clear cut thing by any means, but I feel like that's the two things he still got left to achieve in his NBA career before it's like, you know? What do you guys think?
Before Jelani, I want you to answer this, but before I go, I think the third third thing he needs to do is cut beer, fam. I've never seen an NBA player, a GM, or anybody from their staff come and take away the player's beer because that shouldn't happen, fam.
No, you're right. You're not lying. But fam, that's what it was back in the day. You think back in the day they had all this nutritionist stuff, bro? They're just You know,
Yeah, bro, they're chilling.
out here
I
living life.
mean,
We've all heard stories about Wilt, bro. That guy might have been a little devious off the court. Like I don't know.
Okay, but if he doesn't do, I feel like if he does that, he'll win. But I don't know if it adds to his mojo, you know, because Allen Iverson was like that. Like if he didn't go
Oh
up,
yeah, no,
and
yeah, for
pass,
sure.
he couldn't do it. So
Yeah, yeah. I'm just saying. I think that would definitely put you like at that point. What can anybody say about you? Because people can still say, "Oh yeah, Allen Iverson, but he didn't win." Now, granted, Philly didn't do much to help him win, but that's besides the point. You know, if Luka goes out and wins, now it's just Luka did everything. Point blank. Period. You can't. There's no more. You know what I mean? But yeah. The next one I kind of threw both of them in here. I had Giannis and Dame. It is really just can they work? Can they figure it out? Can they? You have two of the top 10, 15 players in the NBA in terms of these guys are superstars. You expect better than whatever they did last year. What they get bounced in the second round, first round, something like that. They didn't.
Yeah, first round. But I think it's also because look, I know injuries, but Giannis was hurt. Okay,
For sure.
I know Indy went on that run, but let's say everybody was healthy. You never know. You never know. I think this year though, the reason, like the funny thing is, like I had the Bucks the last 2 years representing the East. So this year I'm not, just because it comes down to Doc Rivers. Like I don't know if I can put my faith in Doc from what I've seen on multiple occasions, multiple teams with a lot of talent, bro. So, and I know Giannis is a dog. Dame's my guy. I don't know that. So I hope that they can find a way to make it work. But and also like the roster looks a bit old to me. Like I think they need something else. Like they need something in there. It's the same old in Milwaukee, I guess. And I know they brought in Gary Trent, but like, okay,
You know.
so that, you know what I mean? Like it's just that to me they didn't really improve as much as I would want them to. And I'm looking at man's like Chris Middleton, and I think Middleton a good piece, right, to a team, but one, he's hurt often, and two, can I really, like, I know we saw him on the runs that they had, but there's some times where it's like, hey, Chris, like we need you this night, and he doesn't show up. You know, there's some nights like that, obviously, and you can't have that if you're trying to win in the Eastern Conference, especially with a team like Boston in there, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it just comes down to Doc, though. In my opinion, it comes down to Doc. Like, can you find a way to make those two, advance to the finals and maybe win? I don't know if he can, though.
Yeah, I think it makes it worse too. That I mean, obviously this is older news now, but I think it makes it worse too, where you go and trade Drew Holiday for Damian Lillard, and that, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, I would have loved to been like a fly on the wall in like the the Milwaukee Bucks execs room, because you're just face value that trade alone. You're sending Drew Holiday to a different conference. You're bringing in Damian Lillard. Plus win. Then you hear little rumblings that Portland's gonna buy him out so that they'll send him to a proper team, whatever. So now you're like, oh, okay, Spidey senses a little bit, but nothing crazy. Then you hear he's going to Boston in your conference, and now they're going over it. You know what I mean? That couldn't have bitten you in the ass any more than what it did. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But hindsight's always 20/20, I guess. Anthony Edwards. I feel like Anthony Edwards, the main thing is really just, can he do it again? I feel like that was a crazy season from him. I feel like he really leapt into the whole like, oh shoot, like Ant is here. I think it was you guys that were saying it just a few minutes ago that he kind of stole Ja's whole swag. He kind of stole what Ja was. He kind of stole his place because Ja was obviously out injured and before that suspended and everything like that. So I guess the main thing is this season, can you prove that it wasn't a fluke? Prove that it wasn't a one-off. Prove that this is really you. Like, this is really what we can expect to see from you for the next however long. Now, they did do, I guess we could talk about it a little bit. They did pull off in my opinion, it was a stupid trade to trade Karl Anthony Towns for Julius Randle. I think that was dumb. But
That was a mistake.
Yeah, that was dumb. So I don't know how that's going to affect Minnesota. But, yeah, that's how I feel about Anthony Edwards. What do you guys think?
Weird trade.
It was a weird trade.
Yeah, weird trade. I still don't have any thoughts on that trade. Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't know.
The only thing,
Minnesota, I think they can make the playoffs. Like, the West is crazy. Like, it's not a cakewalk.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be in there. It's just like again, like really, Sky, what you were saying, like, can he build on what he did last year? Because now, like, the expectations are a bit higher for Ant,
Yeah.
especially now that Cat's not there. More load, every
Yeah.
night he's gonna have to carry, right? So I don't know. I expect big things though. I like Ant a lot, so I believe that he will show up when it matters most. He's a dog. But yeah, it's dependent on how the West looks when it matters most in the playoffs, what Chris Finch has in terms of his system and what he sees and envisions now that Cat's not there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do like what I will say about the Wolves though. I do like that pickup of Dante DiVincenzo.
Facts.
I think he's a nice addition. Randall, I
Yeah.
never been a fan. I'm sorry, but yeah, I think that it's really just like like you said, Sky.
Yeah.
Can he build on what he did?
What do you think, Emmanuel?
Um, I think they did the trade knowing that, and because they're getting ready for him to take the next step. And Cat has also potential. Cat has potential to be a number, like, not anymore because we saw what Anthony Edwards came in and did,
Mm-hmm.
but because Cat was also still growing, he needed those shots
Like
too.
cleared the
I
way
think
for him.
yeah, now it's like, okay, you're the guy. We're gonna get you not a B. We're gonna get not a 1B. We're gonna get you a number two. We know he's two for sure. So
Yeah.
you go do it, you know. But and that was a bad trade because
Yeah.
why they were so potent, especially defensively, was because they had two 7-footers.
Yeah.
That's very rare in the league. Two starters that are 7-footers that
Mm-hmm.
can both contribute. Now they take that away to bring a guy that's been injured, that's offensively not as efficient as Cat. I feel like Cat really had like he was just like one step away from really being that second guy that they needed. Like they were knocking at the door. I don't know why you would do this.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I think even if you just looked at, I don't want to say it's necessarily logistics, but just face value. I think first of all, I think it's extremely rare for you as a franchise to go and you draft someone with the number one overall pick, because they're both number one overall picks, if I'm not mistaken. You go out and you draft Karl Anthony Towns, who ends up turning into a bona fide. I'll say he's a star. I wouldn't say he's a superstar at this point in time, but I'll say he's a bona fide star. Lowest you're getting is he's a bona fide all star, whatever. And then a few years down the line, he's still doing his thing. Then you have another number one overall pick. You draft Anthony Edwards, who is a superstar. You're lucky enough to draft both these guys, and both of them are good friends. They like each other. They can play together. They want to play together. So I don't understand why you would mess with the chemistry at all with trading them. You heard, you guys might have heard it already. I think he said it on the same podcast with Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart a few days ago that he said, he thought Minnesota was the place he was going to retire at. And that was going to be the home, like his home after the NBA. But obviously they had different intentions and Ray. I don't know.
Did you hear what Ant said after the game? And was like, yeah, when a play like someone from the crowd was like, "Yo, Anthony, you should come to New York."
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I'd love to do it come again, fam. Look what you done did.
Yeah.
If Anthony Minnesota's back to disarray, bro.
Because I think that's what it's going to turn into. I think now it kind of, in a way, it puts more pressure on Anthony Edwards, obviously, to perform. Because now, like we were saying, we kind of cleared house for you to now fill into that full number one role. But at the same time, it's going to be so easy now for people to be like, well, yeah, he has no help now because you got rid of Karl Anthony Towns. It could have worked, everything like that. So now, if anything, they're bottlenecking him. But, we'll see how it goes. Obviously, I think they're playing right now. So,
yeah,
against the
and
Lakers.
I think he had 14 and a half, but I will say Julius Randle is a dog.
Yeah, for
He
sure.
hasn't been healthy.
Yeah.
He's a dog.
He's a dog that's got 5 points so far in
I'm
third
not
quarter,
moved
but
I'm not moving that off.
it's a long game. It's a long season. We'll see how it goes.
Cat is,
I'm not.
Yeah. SGA, I really just think it's, can you get even deeper into the playoffs? Can you keep, you know what I mean? I feel like for him, I want to say low key out of maybe aside from Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, he's in a pretty fortunate situation. I mean, you're on a pretty stacked roster. The timelines fit. Chet, J-Dub, all these guys you guys are all going to peak around the same time. You already have your quote-unquote big three, and that's, you added in someone like Alex Caruso. You got a good bunch of Lou Dort. You got all these good role players that you can think. I feel like if you just stay the course, it'll happen. But that's my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, OKC, like, I like their roster. I think they got a really good coach. Like, they got a lot of stuff that you need to be a contender. I think
Picks,
they will
hella
contend this
picks,
year. Yeah, that too. Wow.
hella picks.
Sheesh, man. Presti is crazy. I think Shea had a great year last year. Could have given him the MVP. Now let's see what he does with more expectation, because last year no one was saying, "Yo, OKC's gonna do this and this and this." No one really said, "Yo, Shea's gonna go crazy like he did." So now that there's a radar on OKC basketball right now, I want to see how they respond. Will they end up taking steps back? That's another thing, because a lot of people are always saying like, "Okay, young team, they did this, so they're gonna only improve. They're obviously gonna improve." Doesn't always happen like that. I think they will improve, but it doesn't always happen like that. So I want to see, do they take a step back now that they actually kind of have a target on their back? They were number one seed last year, right? But ultimately, I think that as we move forward, Shea is just going to keep getting better and better. And with that being said, they will be a threat in the Western Conference. I think they're like, honestly, I feel like they're the most popular pick in the West to go to the finals from what I'm seeing. But I just can't, like, I don't know. Something's telling me that they're not getting there. I don't know who's repping the West. It's just like, it's crazy.
It's just a bloodbath in the West. You know what I mean? It's
I literally don't know. But OKC, there's just something right now that's saying not yet. Maybe eventually, but not yet. It's like feeling like Dallas a couple years ago. Like,
you're right.
They're cool. They're a good pick, but they're not there yet. They might need something else. They might need more time together, stuff like that. So we'll see.
I think the other thing is too, like, you don't ever know how the landscape of the NBA is going to change either. You know what I mean? Like, because their window's pretty big. Yeah. That window could look totally different. It could shorten. It could lengthen based on how other things play out. Obviously, how they use their picks and whatever the case may be. So, yeah, there's a lot of variables, I guess. The next few we could just clump all these together because it's kind of all the same thing. Joel Embiid, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis. It's health, bro. Like, it's just stay healthy. Because obviously these guys are all super talented. You know what they're capable of. But availability matters, bro. And a lot of them can't stay healthy for one way. And you can throw Ja in there too. Just because of... even though I think Ja's a little different. You know, that guy had off-the-court issues. So let's hope that he straightened himself out. But yeah, I feel like for all those guys, it's really just availability. I know specifically for Embiid and Paul George, like, don't kill Tyrese Maxey, man. Like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, I genuinely feel bad for him. He's going to have to carry the load a lot this season because there's going to be a lot of games where, oh, well, it's the second night of a back-to-back, so Joel's not playing, and then Paul George rolled his ankle or something like that. You know what I mean? So I have to see how it goes. Jimmy Butler. I think more so it's his contract year, so I don't know what that's going to do for him. I feel like he's one of those guys that turn it up when he needs to turn it up. So if he feels like he has something to prove this season in terms of getting a new contract with the Miami Heat, assuming that's what he wants to do, whatever, just be playoff Jimmy for the whole season, because the last few years he's just been coasting to the playoffs, and then now he turns it into MJ 2.0 damn near. He just starts doing stuff that other people don't do. And then Jason Tatum, which we talked about before. Can he, be the guy without having to rely on the plethora of all? You could literally field an all-star team with the rest of his teammates, bro. So it's like, I guess what we were saying, just prove that you can still be you without relying on Jaylen Brown locking down the best player and Drew Holiday doing the same thing, and Porzingis and Derek White, all these different guys. But yeah, damn, that's the NBA. I feel like we should mention just briefly, because I think it happened already. LeBron James and Bronny James, first father-son duo to play in the NBA. So congratulations to them. What do you guys think about that? I know we kind of talked about it a little bit in terms of we didn't talk about it on the podcast because we've been gone for 2 years. My bad, but we talked about it before. Bronny James draft pick. I know that gets a lot of criticism. I'm not even trying to add on to it because it's like, it's 50, was it 56, 55? Who really cares at the end of the day? But What do you guys think about it? I don't know. I feel like he gets a lot of unfair criticism just because he's Bronny's kid, but that's neither here nor there.
I think Jelani is going somewhere else. So you go, and I'll or whatever you think.
Nah, yo, Barney, that's my guy, man, from day one, man. Come on, I'll be outside with him. Look, man, I think obviously LeBron. This had something to do with LeBron, like obviously,
Of course.
because they were trying to during that time. They were like, "Yo, LeBron had nothing to do with this."
Yeah.
LeBron wasn't even he didn't talk to nobody. He wasn't in the facility. Please, bro, please. We are well aware. We are well aware of who your superstar player is. One of the best, if not the best, to ever do it. We know who he is, LeBron. Okay, his son happened to play at USC. We know that he had some say in this. We know this. You probably spoke with Palinka or whatever, or maybe it was Rich Paul. And I remember, like, during the draft process, like, they said to certain teams, like, yo, don't even try it, bro.
Yeah.
They don't even call us, don't even hit us up. They only consider Phoenix and LA. Those are the two spots. That was it. I think if you're hating on Bronny, that's terrible. I don't think you should hate on him. Look, bro, like, he's innocent. He's just trying to play ball. Like, and obviously, after what happened with him, with the cardiac
arrest
bro,
too.
It's just it's great that he's actually playing ball, right? And I find it really cool, to be honest with you, that like a father-son duo. It's really rare, happened in sports before, but not in the NBA.
Yeah.
Right, and like I think it's really cool. Like you just see them like the media day together and stuff like that. They just shot like a new Nike commercial together, which is pretty funny. Like I think if you're hating on that, then bro, like why?
You
like,
gotta fix up. Yeah.
Yeah, like fix them,
Yeah.
like for real. So I'm rooting for Bronny's success. I want him to do well, right? I want him to find his way in the NBA. I think honestly, with what his skill set is, and what they've taught, they told us about his skill set and things of that nature, he could have a long career as a guy on the team that knows his role, that could provide valuable minutes. Right? And if you could do that for 10 plus years, you're good.
Yeah.
There have been plenty of guys that come through the league that know their role, that have a skill, they lean on that, and that they make a career out of it. So I'm not going to sit up here and hate on Bronny for being drafted by the Lakers. I'm just going to say, the only thing I'm going to say is, we're not fooled. Like, we know what this
it's nepotism, but it's whatever.
We know it's, but I'm not going to hate on it, right? Yeah. Because you see, and a lot of people at the time, like real quick, they were talking about, nepotism argument, right? And they weren't about it, right? But again, like we see it everywhere. We see it in sports outside of sports. We see it in the front offices all the time. When it happens in the front offices, they're not mad.
Yeah.
Right? But when it's Bronny and LeBron's son, like now we're mad, like picking and choosing. So I don't agree with that. Again, we've seen father son, like Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Sr. and MLB. They're actually at the game. They're repping. They're supporting this. So yeah, bro. I like this.
Emmanuel, what do you think, bro?
I mean, I think Jelani is kind of where I am when it comes to it. I'm be honest. Should Bronny be on the Lakers? If his dad was a LeBron, would he be on the Lakers? No.
Yeah,
being honest. But also, this is the 55th pick. Like, who remembers last year's 55th?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
He's not even in the league anymore. I think this made sense for all parties involved. I think this is like a marketing boom, bro. I think the Lakers are going to milk this. I think the NBA is going to milk this. I think LeBron is going to milk this. I think for history, it's a chapter in history. I think when you come with that pitch to the Lakers, fam, obviously they're good. Bro, the Warriors wanted to get him, and they were like, out of respect for LeBron, we're not going to. Like, the whole league respects this guy, Yeah. So it's like, okay, whatever. You can have your little. And I think that's kind of part of LeBron's farewell, that he did something. He added another page to history. He played with his son. MJ didn't do it. Now next year, he's probably going to announce it. Either next year or the year after. He's hanging them up. But okay, basketball, like, I get what Jelani's saying, but fam, what's Bronny's real skill set?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I was trying to be good. I was trying to be a good man. He can shoot?
No, he can't. No, he can't.
I'm trying to be nice.
Come on, fam. We gotta stop.
He can't shoot like that. He can't shoot like that. But okay, what I'd say is, let's get him in the G League. Let's get him minutes and time in the G League. Let's work on his game first,
And
right?
then
Like
pray.
like Emmanuel said, like having him on the Lakers roster, like that main roster right there. Maybe is it a too soon type deal? Maybe, but he's gonna see time in the G League. I want him there just to develop his game, and then after he's developed even more, then we'll see what happens. I was just because I'm not trying to hate on it. I'm for real not trying to hate on it.
I'll tell you what Brownie's talents are. Okay, Brownie got two superpowers. One is his dad. The second is effort, fam. Because there's nothing else this nigga.
I was gonna say his best bet is to become a hustle guy, bro. Try to get the rebounds, dive on the floor. That's how you can try to. That's how you can get it.
He's not amazing. Like he's not a ball handler. He's not a shooter.
I know. It's
Okay,
What is not even to do on the court, bro? Never mind.
This is getting crazy.
I was saying he just runs cardio. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Nah,
I mean,
I respect LeBron, and let me put my disclaimer in because I want to,
yeah.
Yeah, you don't want the clutch. You don't want those clutch vans showing up at his place.
And I'm a LeBron's guy, fam. I'm a LeBron's guy, and it's LeBron's league. But I feel like he has qualities. I'm gonna put it like that, just so I have another clip I can play them if they ever come. Like, yo, you said this. That's he's getting better. Like Jelani said, I think he should go to the G League, figure out what he can do, and then work on that.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like what Jelani was saying, bro. Like, it's the 55th overall pick, bro. Like, it doesn't. I saw this one thing on YouTube at the time of it getting drafted. It was I think it was from Jimmy High Roller. I don't know if you guys watched those videos on the NBA channel, but he was basically saying he did a little analysis on. He basically came to the conclusion of like 55th overall pick, 56th overall pick, whatever it is. If Bronny does anything to earn himself a second contract, it was a good pick for 55th overall because like who's been like I think there's I don't remember his name now, but there's someone on the Thunder right now who was drafted 55th, 56th, something around there, and he I think damn near might be the best 55th overall pick of all time. Damn near, you know what I mean? Just because he got himself another contract or he's been actually of use to them. And then the thing is, like, the other thing was, the slander that LeBron was getting at the time, I remember on the draft. And it's like, bro, stop acting like if you guys weren't in that position, you wouldn't also want your son to be drafted. Like, what? If you're saying you didn't want your son to get drafted with you, I don't want to call you a bad father, but
that's terrible.
Come on, it is terrible.
Because that's a reflection of you. And to be honest, just off of the marketing dollars you're gonna make off of this, this was the greatest 55th pick ever.
Yeah. So I mean, shoot, I don't have no problem with it. The only issue I have with the way people are talking about it is like you're scrutinizing the kid. Did you guys think he was gonna be good? He wasn't a lottery pick. He's 55th over. They didn't draft him first overall. So stop putting all these expectations on him about he can't shoot. He can't do like he's not supposed to be able to do that. He wasn't supposed to be that good coming out of thing. Whatever like obviously he's gonna develop. He's playing around NBA talent. Even if he goes to the G League, that's ex-NBA guys or guys that are fringe NBA players. He's gonna improve. But I don't like how people are just acting as if he was supposed to come out the gates, boom, 10, 5, and 5 or whatever.
Come on, bro. Skyler, come on.
There's
a lot of players that probably average close to 30 this year.
Listen.
Ronnie averaged 2.5 points.
Listen.
2.5 points, my guy.
Listen.
You're one of those guys, fam. You balled your heart out. This is your shot.
Yeah, his USC numbers, I mean,
they're less than inspiring. Yeah. I know there's a few people on the USC team that are a little bit angry, but it's okay. It's whatever. They're a little bit like, man. It's okay. Up next, we got NFL, soccer, entertainment. So NFL-wise, we got the NFL specialist over on the team here, Jelani Goodridge-Reid. Unfortunately, he's a Dallas Cowboys fan, but that's besides the point. Jelani, how we feeling about the Dallas Cowboys, man? Actually, yeah, let's get into that. That wasn't even on the doc, but how we feeling about the Dallas Cowboys?
Have you ever hated your favorite team?
Manchester United, yeah, hate them.
Yeah, I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I hate them. Like they piss me off. I don't wear our gear anymore during games. I've stopped
You
with that.
don't?
No.
Dang.
And I have a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff with that star. All right? Like a lot. So I've tried to find ways not to wear it or not to rep it. It really just comes down to, like your team. If you're rooting for a team, you want them to be about the sport that they play. You don't want it to be a circus. The Cowboys are a circus. It's been this way from time, right? Our last championship, for those who don't know, was when Fresh Prince was the number one show on TV along with Seinfeld in
Golly.
1995-96.
Good Lord.
So we were a really tough team, okay? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I know it looks terrible right now, but we once were like America's team for real. Having these 2 rings, multiple appearances to the Super Bowl, 80s some down years, 90s we were back up. We were the Bulls of the 90s. It was the Bulls and the Cowboys. They ran things in the 90s, okay? After that, I don't know what happened. Okay? So it really came down with, it's really just Jerry Jones. I don't know Jerry Jones. He's the billionaire
Infamous,
owner
bro.
that everyone knows him. Why does everyone know him? That's my question. You don't want your owner being known by everybody because that means he's either talking too much or he's just doing dumb stuff. And both can be said about Jerry. And the thing real quick with the Cowboys, we had, a couple runs to the playoffs. Bounced the first and second round, per usual. So this offseason, it was like, yo, Derrick Henry, who is the best running back in the league with Christian McCaffrey, he was on the market, and he lives in Dallas. He lives in Dallas. He works out in Dallas. He wanted Dallas. He said, Jerry, pick up the phone, call me. I'm thinking of you guys. I'm not thinking of the Ravens. I want to come join the Dallas Cowboys. I want to help you out. Win a Super Bowl. At least get to NFC Championship. Because also, we haven't gone to the third round since 1995-96. Okay. He wanted us. Jerry never picked up the phone and called him. So, of course, Jelani was pissed off. Right? So, that's what it is. The Cowboys, when it comes to, and it was other guys too that were on the market, didn't pick up the phone. We didn't do anything free agency. That's why the team's not that good. A lot of people think because it's the Cowboys, it's supposed to be good. We're not, okay? Just get that out of your mind, all right? I know we were contending like past 3 years. We were a good playoff team. Not this year. Defense is terrible. Also because like 5 of our starters were hurt or been hurt on defense, so that's not good. And offensively, Dak Prescott, people know how I feel about Dak. He's like, I'm trying to put it in other terms, like another sports terms for y'all, but just think of a guy that just can't get it done. Like, he's a good player. He's a B-plus player.
The highest paid contract, too.
And the highest paid, yeah.
Russ.
Oh, man, what the heck is your beef with Russ? What the hell?
Come on,
I've known you since 2018. I never knew you had a beef with Russ like this, bro.
I know, right?
But did you listen to what Jelani just said? Jelani, what'd you say?
Because he's a B-plus player, but when it counts, though, he ghosts. Like, he's the biggest ghost there is when it matters. So, and the other problem with the Cowboys is, like, he doesn't have a lot to help him out. Like, he's only CD Lamb. That's the only weapon that the Cowboys have. Only one. Like, us 3 could be on our offense. Like, dead eyes. I'm so serious. Like, we don't have a running back. Our running back room is consistent of B to C- players. So that's what the Cowboys are. So I don't have no expectations for the Cowboys. A lot of Cowboys Nation on Twitter, I'm in Cowboys Twitter, they were talking about, we making the playoffs again. Yeah, 4th year in a row. We're also the only team in, I think, NFL history to win 12 games 3 years in a row, which is like equivalent to like 55 plus ish in the NBA, around 55 to 60, 60 ish, 55. And not go to the conference finals. It's never happened before. Every team that's gone 12 wins has actually done something. We got bounced first round, bounced second round, bounced first round. So Cowboys, I just don't want them to bother me anymore. Like, stop. I've actually thought for the first time in my life to switch, which is crazy.
Dang.
Because y'all know me.
Baltimore's here. Detroit's over there. Enticing. Very enticing.
So, and y'all know I like Mahomes, so I do rep Mahomes football. You know, not Chiefs football. I rep Mahomes football. But man, the Cowboys pissed me off. Anyway,
What do you? I was
that's
gonna
that.
ask. You kind of got into it a little bit. What do you think about the contracts that were given out this year? I feel like there was a whole lot of bad contracts
So,
given out. I
yeah,
mean,
I think,
Dak 60
yeah,
mil is. Trevor
I don't
Lawrence is
know, bro.
worse. Deshaun Watson
Yeah.
from before, that
Dude,
one's the worst one of all. Like the Cleveland Emmanuel. Deshaun Watson. Have you heard of Deshaun Watson in the what year was that he did those
so all
things?
that stuff went down because he was in Houston like till like 2020, and at the time, like when he first got in the league and whatever,
Oh, he
he
was the
was in
truth.
Mahomes talks. He
Yeah,
was
he
in
was the
Mahomes
truth.
talks. It was him. It was Mahomes. Then he requested trade. Then they come out with whoa, all these accusers of stuff. You know that was just crazy. Downfall after that, and I think if you look at the contract, it was fully guaranteed that the Browns gave him because the Browns are the Browns. Like they've been wanting a quarterback, so they felt like they were getting that guy that was with Mahomes, like battling him and Lamar, but didn't end up happening. They gave him fully guaranteed money. I forgot how much it was. It was like it was bare, okay. And the NFL doesn't give fully guaranteed contracts, so this was the first of its kind. And he hasn't done a thing for the Browns. He's also got hurt, and he just got hurt again, Achilles, so he's done. So, and if y'all didn't see when he got hurt, it was on Sunday. He got hurt, Achilles. The crowd was booing him. They're at home in Cleveland. They were booing like
Bro, I don't
him,
know.
and he was crying on the stretcher. And people were either cheering like yeah, he's out, and booing like yo, you suck, like get off the field. Good. It's crazy,
Uh,
but
So it
I
was
sound
no. So real quick. It was 5 years, 230 million fully guaranteed.
yeah,
He had a
$30
let's say $45 million signing bonus, and this was fully
yeah. So
guaranteed money. Meaning, come hell or high water, this is your money now.
like they're
And
trapped. Like the Browns were trapped.
yeah, and Emmanuel, what he was accused of is like some of the most unethical. I don't even know how he's a free man personally. He shouldn't really be out here,
It's
but
not.
he
I was
is.
gonna
It's not
say
even allowed.
allegations aside because that's I was gonna say, fam, come on, you couldn't set him up for failure, bro. Being a football player in Houston, bro. In
Let's not
Not
go
even
down.
though.
Let's not go down that
No,
route.
no. We don't want you getting
in
canceled, bro.
Houston,
We don't want you getting canceled, bro.
Let's not go
No,
down
because
that road.
the thing with him is right. The problem with Deshaun was like okay, the massages, right? The people have called him like all types of bro, he's known for the massages. Like, you know how many things on Twitter about massage man and all this stuff? Okay,
no
anyway.
way.
So what he would do is, whether if he was in Houston or he was chilling somewhere else in a big city, he's obviously following girls online, so on Instagram or whatever. He would hit them up, DM them, yo, come through. I'm gonna fly you out to Houston. I'll fly you out Atlanta, wherever I'm at. You give me a nice massage, whatever. But the other thing is, not all of these girls were masseuses. He probably like hit up IG models or whoever, and he said, "Yo, I need a massage. Come through. I'll fly you out. I'll make you feel good and whatever."
Question,
Yeah.
Jelani.
Mm.
If a girl that you didn't know that played basketball, let's say she's a WNBA superstar, she hits you up and
Yeah,
she's like, Jelani,
No.
my back is tense and I need a massage from you. You
No,
just
no.
said
Oh,
yourself.
bruh.
No.
Because the problem
Let's.
is,
We're not going down this for this
We're not
case.
going
We're
down-
not going down that route. We can't do
because
that.
you don't want to
Let's-
get canceled on first episode.
Yeah.
But the thing with Deshaun was because he was asking for certain things from these women that and like even in the DM, like some of these women like, yo, I don't want to do this. But he'd be adamant. He would try to force the issue, and then when they come through, let's say they do come through, let's say it's a masseuse also, right? Because I read the whole article that came out about it. Like, I'm sorry, like if this shit is true, like come on, bro, like that's why people can't defend him because that shit's fucked. Like,
Yeah.
honestly.
No, I'm not defending that. I was gonna ask you, right? If that happened to you and you
Like
were she tells you, yo, my back kind of hurts. Jelani, I want you to come and give me a massage. What do you think is
no.
What do you think?
No, let's stick to the
bro.
no. Let's stick to the facts.
No,
Stick to the facts. Stick to the facts. Let's stick to football.
But what Jelani was saying is they're not masseuses, right? Now, if you're not a
Some of them
masseuse
were, yeah.
and a random guy just hits you up and is like, "Yo, I'm gonna fly you out, come give me a massage," like I'm not defending. If he did anything wrong, he did it wrong, and he should be punished for that. What I'm saying is, you don't think you're going over there to just give the man a massage, do you?
Even if they like my counter, even if they're going out to hang out with him, like let's say he said, "Yo, let's hang out." We're not like I have to defend the woman here. Like they're not expecting to be sexually assaulted, right?
No,
Because
if
he
he
was doing
did
some crazy shit.
any of that, I'm not defending that at
Yeah,
all. I'm defending that at all. I'm just saying
yeah.
you wouldn't think that. Oh, I'm just gonna go over there and give her a massage. That's all I'm
I just
saying.
in general, his image because his image used to be really crystal clean. Like he was in the community,
Yeah.
he was doing everything, and then now he's just like it's opposite. Like he's the most hated,
Yeah.
right? So it's just crazy. It's just crazy. I think that yeah, like when we talk about contracts, guy, like that's the one where it's like that's probably the
Genuine.
worst in
Yeah.
modern Major League Sports history. I'm
Gotta
so
be.
serious. In North American sports, that has got to be the worst one
Gotta
because
be.
the Browns are stuck. They thought one thing, they got the next, and they knew they did know these accusations were on his name when they did this.
Which
So
makes it worse.
y'all did
Yeah,
this like that's your mess.
The
So
thing is too
you
that I
know,
think makes it way worse is like no one else was gonna do that. No, you didn't have to fight
that's it.
for
Yeah.
his
No one
signature for
really.
anybody. You just went out and chose, 230 fully guaranteed for obviously the product. Like whether you thought he was gonna be this, thought he was gonna be that, is a whole different thing. But you didn't have to fight for that for that signature to give away that much money. Now on the same road, kind of piggybacking on that.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence also just got paid. He got big bucks. I believe I think he's tied with that, or is he at 55?
He's just
It's
under.
55 and
Yeah, he's just
60.
under that. Yeah.
So I think Trevor Lawrence now is tied with Joe Burrow, and Trevor Lawrence, I get it. I understood it slightly because you're projecting and what he can be later on in his thing, but he's not. You're giving him money that's
Yeah.
you're giving money to you basically gave so like for NBA terms, you basically gave money to Ben Simmons, assuming that Ben Simmons was gonna get a jump shot, and never did. And it's like now you
I
got
think,
all this
like,
money, but
like Trevor is a good player, right? Like, because when he was at Clemson, he was like number one guy. Like,
yeah,
you're supposed to be Peyton Manning, right? But at this point with Jacksonville and stuff, like it just hasn't been that case. You got the one playoff win, but it just hasn't been there. Like we were expecting like, yo, like you're gonna be with the young guys like Burrow and Herbert or whatever, but he's not at that level. So now it's gotten to the point where when guys that come out of the draft, no matter the sport, when they come out, they're a hot name, they're the number one guy, and you're expecting big things, right? When it doesn't happen, then it's like, okay, now it's time for a conversation, right? So we're nearing that point with Trevor Lawrence. Yo, is he that dude? Can he be that dude in the NFL? Can he be what he was supposed to? Because he was called the prince that was promised. That was like what it was. So, and he hasn't really done nothing. To be honest with you, he hasn't really done much in the NFL compared to what compared to what he's supposed to
the
be.
company he was supposed to be around.
Yeah, so it's like that contract again. It's like we're gonna look at that and say, I don't know.
Yeah, I even kind of in like I don't have strong feelings towards it, but I have a similar type of feeling with Joe Burrow's contract. And like, don't get me wrong, like I think Joe Burrow, like he's not. It's not like Trevor Lawrence or whatever. Like no, Joe Burrow is the man.
Yeah.
Like he's shown he's the man. He beat Patrick Mahomes, got to the Super Bowl, I believe. X, Y, and Z. He's shown he's the man. But I feel like since he got the contract, whether it's injuries or it just isn't working the same way as it used to work, it's kind of like, did you know what I mean? Yeah. Hindsight's always 2020. So don't get me wrong, I understand why they gave him the contract because, like I said, he was the guy. But I feel like it hasn't, to this date, it hasn't been like, worth every penny. You know what I mean? Versus someone someone like Jared Goff, for example. I feel like Goff, if anything, is underpaid at this point because he's been killing it with Detroit. So I don't know, but that's my opinion. I don't know what you think about that, but
I think Burrow, like he's top 4, in terms of quarterbacks. Is Mahomes, Lamar, Allen, Burrow, or Burrow, Allen, whatever you want. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's like, can Burrow get back to the Super Bowl? That's the question.
We are talking NFL right now with the Jelani Goodridge-Reid. We're getting into NFL quarterbacks now. For those that follow the league, or maybe you just follow from afar, whatever the case is, we've heard about Tua Tagovailoa of the Miami Dolphins. Now, he's got a track record with concussions. And, football wise, honestly, it's not the most uncommon thing. It's a very physical sport. Injuries happen in every single sport. In football, you're subjecting yourself to a lot of physical abuse, especially at quarterback, because you're usually just, if you're getting hit, you're getting hit as a quarterback, and that's how it goes. Now, Tua's making headlines now because, what was it, week 2, I believe? Week 2 against the Buffalo Bills. He went in for it was a regular run. I don't think he got hit any kind of way. Like, you know how in football there are certain hits where you see it and it's like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like that's not good. Tua got hit just regular. Like I think every football hit is hard. You know what I mean? Like it looks worse than it is all the time. But took a regular hit, finger seized up, concussion. Now he's coming back. That was his third concussion, second concussion.
Yeah, he's got a laundry list of them.
Yeah,
recently. We're nearing like 4-ish. It's got to be 3 or 4.
And like, mind you, concussions, once you get one of them, now you're more susceptible to another one. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about him was mainly because he addressed the media for the first time, I believe it was yesterday, with his decision to come back. Because people were legitimately saying, like, yo, retire. Because there's not, like I said, you didn't take a hard hit. This was a regular hit, and you got a concussion off of. You're going to have another one of those. He's coming back. He's opting against wearing the little guardian cap, like the little puffer thing to have on the helmet, and he said it's because personal choice. He said he's willing to play the odds. What do we think about that? Like, just from a player's safety perspective, I feel like he should be forced to do it because like this is literally your health. But I mean, what do you guys think? I don't know.
It's crazy, like, cause like the guardian cap that we're talking about here, it's like a new type of helmet that they just said like, yo, y'all could play with it now. It used to be in practice, but now they can play in game time with it. It doesn't look like a regular football helmet, to be honest, because it's the helmet and then they have extra padding all over the place. So and then it has like the logo and whatever, with like a sheet or a little blanket on it. It looks kind of weird, to be honest. Like I get why guys.
I get why you put it. When you put it like that, I mean that guy's gonna look like
Emmanuel, if you can look it up, NFL Guardian Cap, and you know how NFL helmets actually look. Try to look up Guardian Cap for me and see what you think, right? But it's a lot safer. Right? It reduces the concussions. It reduces the impact on the hits. So that's why whoever is getting concussed should be wearing. Right? I see Emmanuel. See that? Yeah, I see. Hell no.
No, that's like some wrestling cap, bro. What? Nah, if he wears that, bro, the whole league is looking down on him, bro. Imagine you're the only player with that on. Everybody else is gonna be like, yo.
That's what it is, because there's no starting quarterback that wears it, right? So he'd probably be the first one. But bro, like, injury history with him is serious. So that's why when he got that concussion week 2, I was like, yo, give him the Guardian Cap. If he wants to keep playing, give him the Guardian Cap. Like, don't even make it where, yo, you're asking him. Like, force the guy.
Yeah.
Because his concussions were worse than others. Like, the way he tenses up and things like that, people have seen it. Like, it's not cool to see when he's been on the ground. And I like Tua because, look, I like Alabama football. He went to that school. He was a star there. So I've been in his corner, but, like, at the end of the day, it's not even about football, right? Like, you want a guy to be healthy. Like, that's it. He has a family of his own now and stuff like that. And he's young. Like, he's, 27?
Yeah.
Or 6? So he's not even an old guy. But you're thinking long-term with this guy. And like Skyler said, this hit was not crazy. Damar Hamlin came up. His head hit Damar's arm. And it wasn't even a crazy tackle. Because Tua was the one that really did the impact. So it's like,
he initiated
how is it happening? Yeah, so it's like with Tua, I swear, like I can't see one more of these. Like, honestly, I just hope he's playing the odds. I just hope that bro is healthy. The Dolphins are a good team, when he's out there. Like they're actually a good, nice team, and they got
For sure.
a track team of offensive players and stuff. So of course they want him back, and they're still like if they win some games here and there, maybe they'll be back alive in the AFC playoff race moving forward. But it's just like you don't want to rush him back. I felt like he should have honestly retired. That's just my personal opinion. If I was his family member or something, just seeing what he's gone through over the last calendar year, and again, I've gotten concussed twice, so it's not fun. I say that the second one was worse. The first one was like, yeah, like I was dazed. I was like what's going on? The second one, like my head slammed the turf or slammed the grass in practice, like because I tried to catch the ball. The defender was on me early. Okay, so yeah. Then my left side of my brain slammed the turf. So and I was done. Like I was out. And the aftermath is not fun. Okay, I'll tell you that. Depending on the scale of your concussion, mine I was sensitive to light. So if you turn on the light in my house or around me, bro, it felt like someone was squeezing my brain. It felt like that, right? I couldn't. I remember one day I couldn't move. Like I stayed in bed and like I couldn't even lift myself up from the pillow. It hurt. So it's one of those ones. And I had to stay in the dark. All that sort of thing, right? And so, and I remember like I had a project around the time. I couldn't work because again the light. So from the computer, from the laptop. So things like that. So that's why I'm like thinking of concussions, thinking of Tua and the sport itself. Guardian caps are safer. They're saying the concussion numbers are down. I don't know if I agree because the NFL they don't care about player safety. I'll say that firsthand. They don't give a damn about player safety, especially if you're trying to add another week to the season. Okay, anyway. And then for me as a football fan who's gone through it, right? So I don't know about y'all. I'm gonna ask y'all real quick just to get y'all in this conversation. But for mans who like the sport, do you feel like they should put their kids in the sport? Because personally, I'm not putting my son in the sport.
See,
You
okay.
shouldn't. I was fam. Yeah, Skyler, you go ahead, cause I got
No,
a lot to
I
say.
feel like, and I've said this before, like years ago, when the CTE stuff started becoming like a running joke and
Yeah, yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
whatever. Like football, for all intents and purposes, it's very entertaining, right? You watch it face value, entertaining, especially for guys. Let's not lie, bro. The physicality of it, is cool, but it's a flawed sport. It's a flawed sport.
Yes.
People didn't think about like when you're creating football, when you were thinking about starting the game, you're not thinking about the effects of afterwards. You know what I mean? It's a dying sport, I think. I don't now I know there are some
Yeah, yeah,
towns,
slowly, yeah.
yeah. I know there are some towns in the States where it's like they live, breathe, and eat football. So, you know what I mean? And those guys are whatever. Like the town shuts down because we got a high school football game to go to. The stadiums are massive. I swear there's some Division 1 college stadiums that are damn near nicer and bigger than certain NFL stadiums. Like it's a very
Yeah.
the sport is very well liked, but in my opinion, it's very flawed. I think it is going to be a dying sport if it's not already a dying sport. Meaning, yeah, what Jelani was saying in terms of people just not wanting to put their kids in it. Like my pops wanted to put me in football when I was a kid. My mom said, yeah, absolutely not because of just not even just the CTE, just the physicality part of it. You know what I mean? They just didn't feel the need for that. So to answer your initial question, I'm not putting my kid in football. I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be a very
I
cool thing
think
to do because, like I said, the sport's very entertaining. It's America's biggest sport, if I'm not mistaken. But the safety of it, it gets to a point where it's like you gotta weigh the odds. And for me, like your health when you're older is, I think, should always take priority over whatever you're doing when you're younger. But that's my opinion on it.
Yeah, that was very diplomatic. I was not gonna come in like that, bro. That's why I'm happy Scott is here. I was gonna say okay, he took care of the sports, so I'm gonna talk about the culture, right? Because like Jelani was saying, one thing I will say, we can't want him to be healthy more than he wants to be healthy, and I think that comes down to a culture thing. I don't even think it's just like the stress of the fans and the team expecting him to play. I think it's a football thing. To be the guy, you have to feel like, bro, I could do this. I think they put this expectation on themselves like, I'm the man. I'm not going to quit. I can't quit. You know, to get here, you have to be a certain type of cat. You know, you have to have this certain type of moral, like or way of looking at things. But I feel like I don't know, fam. He should have stopped for sure.
Yeah, the thing
Yeah.
is too, like I didn't have as much of an opinion on Tua before, like whereas Jelani was saying, like you genuinely like the guy. I didn't really have a crazy opinion on him. I knew who he was, obviously. I understood where he was at in the league, everything like that. But I'm not gonna lie, after the press like that he did, basically saying, yeah, I'm playing Ray. I lost a little bit of respect for him because it comes off incredibly selfish. It's very selfish for you to know that you have a family outside the sport. You have people that want to care for you, want to love you, everything like that. When you're done and retired, and you're still saying football's my life,
It's
this is what
tricky,
I
fam.
love, everything. No, it is tricky, but it's like, bro, you have to be smart about what's going on. Like, think about I don't know if Tua has kids or anything like that, but like, bro,
Yeah,
you
yeah. So
want
like two, I think he's
to okay,
got
2 years
two of
old, you want to be
them. They're
able
young.
to remember your kids. You want to be able to do something with your kids when you're older than when you're retired and everything like that. You can't do that if you've taken so many hits to the head and eventually your body just starts to shut down because you wanted to play the odds and personal choice. It's not I don't want to wear the guardian cap because it's my personal choice. Like I get it. It's especially for those guys too. Like I know he's I don't want to assume what he is, but he's Polynesian of some sort. I know in
Yeah,
Polynesia
yeah,
they get down like that. Rugby and football, they get down like that. And I don't know. I think he might have grown up in the States. I'm not 100% sure, but you went to
yeah. I
school
grew
in
up in
Alabama.
Hawaii.
Okay, he
Yeah,
grew up in Hawaii. You went to school in Alabama. Bama is Bama. You know what I mean? Like, so of course, if you're playing football professionally, if you're playing any sport professionally, it's your life at that point. You know what I mean? Like, you eat, breathe, and sleep this sport. So I understand your attachment to the sport, but you
Yeah.
gotta learn when it's like my health versus whatever. You have nothing left to prove. You got your money. You got your It'd be kind of a
yeah.
different
You got it
story
right.
if this was your contract year and you needed the money. You got paid. You're set. Your family is set. Everything. You don't need to keep on. But
I know, but Skyler, fam, come on, those early mornings, those late nights, nigga, your family wasn't waking up. Like, come on, your wife wasn't. Like sometimes it's kind of like personally, you've
but
had
they
this
are
journey with
now.
yourself.
They're there
They are
now.
now. They're probably okay. I don't want to, because I don't know their situation, but who knows when he met the wife? Maybe this
Nah,
is kind
nah.
of part of the reason. You feel me? And I feel like some people, fam, when a sport becomes their whole persona,
Mm.
when they step away from it, they kind of lose themselves. Because it's kind of like
Mm.
this has been my thing for so long. What now?
Yeah, yeah.
For
You feel me?
sure.
Especially football players,
That's what it is.
because they're
Yeah,
For
kind of
sure.
they're not knuckleheads, but they're kind of, you feel me? Like what else? What
yeah,
else is he
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
You feel me? Like come on, bro. What
Yeah.
else is he gonna do?
No, you raise a good point, especially with the culture thing. Like, yeah, it is your life. It becomes your life. So I understand it from that regard, but I just think be smarter,
He
bro.
should have retired, bro.
Yeah, you should have
I think he
retired. Call a
should
spade a
have.
spade. You should have retired. Like, it gets to a
But
safety
Sure.
point, but
we'll see. We'll see because he's supposed to play. I think he's playing on Sunday. I don't know, but I think that's the plan.
we talk
He's
about
been
that
out.
in the next podcast. Then because
Yeah.
consistency, weekly episodes.
Mm.
Lamar Jackson, Lamarvelous, front runner for the
Yeah, he's
MVP
tough,
race,
man.
dismantled the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I guess question is, can he beat Mahomes? That's the boogeyman. That's his boogeyman specifically. Like
Jeez, bro.
I don't even think it's about the regular
But
season anymore for Lamar Jackson. It's about Mahomes. Like genuinely, I'm not even joking. I genuinely
yeah,
feel like if they will get to the playoffs. But I genuinely feel like, let's say somehow you match up with the Chiefs in the first round and you beat them, and then you go and lose in the second round to, let's say, the Bills or something like that. To me,
mm.
we're good because you got the monkey off your back.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You showed me that okay, you can beat him specifically. We know Mahomes is beatable by a very small group of people. Joe Burrow for that. I'll throw Josh Allen in there too. But at least you're doing it and we've seen it. I feel like that's the one thing that haunts him or that would keep him up at night is shoot, we got the Chiefs on Sunday or shoot, we got the Chiefs next. It's time to, you know what I mean? Chiefs, it's not just Mahomes, bro. They got the number one defense. I feel like it's really just can you beat Patrick Mahomes? That's your boogeyman. That's what's on your checklist, or that's what should be the number one thing on your checklist. Because regular season at this point, I feel like it doesn't matter for you anymore, bro. Like we've seen it. that you are him in the regular season. It's just, can you get to the postseason and can you push your team now, who is very well constructed, by the way. Obviously, they landed Derrick Henry. Sorry, Jelani. But they landed Derrick Henry. And they're looking great. They're not. I believe it was the head coach was saying something about how they aren't constructed to have him running the ball 30 times a game, for however many times. Because obviously, running backs, 9 times out of 10 times touch the ball, you're getting hit. So running backs start to die off pretty easy just because of the injuries, the constant hitting. But I guess if you have a dynamic quarterback like Lamar Jackson, you can kind of not reserve Derrick Henry, but yeah, be smarter about the situations you use him in. But yeah, I mean, shoot, I feel like how much would you weigh getting this Super Bowl, getting past Patrick Mahomes, for Lamar Jackson? Do you think it's like, at the end of the day, let's say I don't know how many years he's been in the NFL now, what, 5 years he's been in, 5-6 years, something like that?
In 2018 he came in. Yeah, 2018 he came in. Yeah, like 6-ish.
Yeah, so 6-ish years. Let's say he has, good long career. Let's say 15-year career, whatever the hell it is, but he can't get over that hump. What does that do for you? How does that hold for you?
Man, I think like he's got to get that ring. I really want it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
He's a sensational player. He was Heisman in college, so best player in the country. And I remember like people before he got drafted, obviously like there's always been things with the black quarterback, they're not thinking that we're smart enough, not good enough. So they wanted him to play receiver, and I thought that was ridiculous. I thought it was a disrespect after just winning the Heisman Trophy. It's crazy. And so he came in, but he was hot as soon as he came in. So we know he's been good, and he's got 2 MVPs. There aren't many multiple MVP players in NFL history, so he's one of them. If he gets a third, because he's on pace right now to get that third, and he's 28. Like, he'd be 28 at the end of the year. Like, that, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that would be the only guy at QB to win 3 MVPs at that young age. So that's crazy. And I think that would lock him in top 10 ever. Like, you couldn't even make a debate about it. Right? Right now, there are debates because he's a 2 MVP. He's unanimous one time. He was nearly unanimous again last year. Like, he's a different breed, right? So I think that part is fine. Like you said, the regular season's fine, but when the playoffs happen, that's when it's real talk. Like,
when it matters.
Can you deliver? And I've been in that too. I like Lamar a lot, but you got to be real. He hasn't really played that great in most of the playoffs he's been in. This last one, he was good against Houston. I know C.J. Stroud was a rookie, but he had a good game that day. But when they went to the conference championship, a homeboy, the Chiefs didn't even play that great offensively. It was really just Lamar couldn't score. Like, the offense couldn't get the ball in the end zone. And everyone knows they could have been the team in the Super Bowl winning last year in Vegas. So this year, they got the team again. Their defense is still good. It has not as good as last year because they had a top one last year, but still tough. Derrick Henry looking also like an MVP. So the only question is, can you get it done? And if he doesn't get it done, that would be a shame. I think, like, I'm just talking about career-wise. If he doesn't get it, that would be a big shame. But I do predict one. I do predict at some point he'll get through. Yeah. And he has to get through because right now we're just talking about he's on that Peyton Manning arc. So Peyton Manning was clearly the best player in the game when he was younger Manning. But the Colts at the time, he never went to the Super Bowl, couldn't win the Super Bowl, couldn't get past Tom Brady. So people were like, yo, he's a fraud in the playoffs. And he was until he got that first one, right? And then that just ended all discussion. So for Lamar, which I love that he's against the grain. Like, he's a Floridian guy. He's from around the Miami area. Black guy, doesn't really care about whatever no one says about him. He just goes about his business, man. So you got to respect that. But my thing with Lamar is, those MVPs are great, right? But, of course, you're talking about Mahomes. He's got all the hardware. He got MVPs and the hardware. right? So Lamar at some point has got to get it done. Like there's literally no excuse because right now what people are saying honestly about him, you're literally Joel Embiid. That's what he is. He's a
Dang.
great player. He's a
Hmm.
great player, and they're saying like this is not me saying this, but they're saying he is Joel on a football field because they got the skill, they got the talent, they got everything. He got it. But it's when like you're asking the Sixers to get to that conference championship or conference finals. They haven't been there yet. They haven't got to the finals yet. When is that going to happen? Ravens, same thing. When are you getting to the Super Bowl? You got to the third round. When are you getting there? So I think though ultimately he will get through. He will. Maybe
Yeah.
it's this year. I don't know. But the Chiefs are looking good defensively. So I don't know.
I feel like the main thing that I've been noticing this season, anyways, in comparison to last season, specifically against the Chiefs last year in the playoffs, and I guess this is something that every quarter, like because he's a mobile quarterback, scrambling quarterback, whatever you want to call it. I feel like the one thing that all these mobile quarterbacks have to learn or find the balance in, and I think he's doing a better job of it this year, is like knowing when to be a quarterback and knowing when to just take off. I feel like in last year's playoff matchup against the Chiefs, there was too much of I'm trying to be a quarterback, so I'm staying in a collapsed pocket and whatever. When it's like, yo, take off, stop. Like
Just
we,
run.
that's what I mean. Because obviously, like coming into the league, it was kind of like, okay, prove that you can throw, that you can pass, and he's done that now. He's got a certified. Or he threw like a 50-yard bomb to who Jesse Bateman, I think it was, against Tampa just yesterday or the other day. So we know you can pass, but find the balance now of okay, I'm a quarterback, and then now I'm running because there's nothing on. I feel like he's done a better job of that versus last year. I think it kind of shot him in the foot. But yeah, I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
He is behind Mahomes. He's in terms of second best in the league. I think that's fine to say, but yeah, at some point it's like, yo, Ravens, like you can't be doing this every year. Where it's like, when are you getting it done? It's like,
Yeah.
when will you get it done? Are you getting it done? You know?
Yeah. But anyways, that's for the American football now. Real football, not well. I don't want to say real football. Let's not upset the audience like that. But
Honestly, it should be called football. Like American
yeah,
football, I don't know why they teeth the name. I don't know why they took it.
I don't know what that's
Like,
about. But European
but
football, soccer is what we'll go for. I guess just because it happened just today. Emmanuel, how are we feeling? Real Madrid fan over here. Champions
Emmanuel.
League nights at the Bernabeu. Stressful for some people. How are we feeling?
I can't do it, bro. This can't be our season, bro. And I'm not gonna lie. Nah, I can't even say that we didn't deserve to win because we really turned it up like 2 notches in that second half. But like, we're not gonna, bro. I'm telling you, okay. But I don't know. Maybe like, cause you seem like I'm a Real Madrid fan, so I'm like going through it. But Skyler's always like, yo, fam, don't worry about it. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. Fam, it was 2-0 at half. Not 2-0 at
I
halftime.
was not stressed for you
And it
guys at all.
wasn't looking like Real Madrid, and they ended up winning like 5-2. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't even know, but I don't think we can. I think we need some more cohesion. I think we need some tactics implemented. I feel like today was the first game where I saw like they were actually trying to get the ball through over to them. And I like the energy that they play with in the second half. I feel like if
Mm.
we play with that same intensity, trying to score on every possession, that's when we're gonna meet the potential of what everybody thinks we can be. We need to play with that urgency, you know?
So one thing I want to ask you, because you kind of brought this up with the tactics, uh, and I said this in the group chat earlier that we could leave it for the podcast, whatever. But the times I've watched Real Madrid play this season with Mbappe, with Vinny, with Rodrigo up top, they're very. It's all this woke style of football. Everything's very interchangeable. Everything's very free flowing, which I think is a good. It's a good thing to have for certain teams, but I think to a degree. I think at times during the season, Real Madrid are very too free flowing to where it's like you don't even have a structure at this point. It's very disorganized. I said in the group chat, it's chaos. It's very chaotic to look at. And I think at times it is your downfall in the sense of it's just too lackadaisical. Now we have our front three is on the left side, and now Valverde is playing right wing, and there's like a weird little gap in the midfield or whatever. So obviously today they kind of stabilized it with Luka Modric. I feel like Modric being in the lineup, he's not as like let's just be honest, bro. The young guys you guys have, especially in the midfield, like those guys are stallions, bro. Like they cover so much ground. They could do whatever. But I feel like once you add someone in like Modric, not that he's whatever. I mean, let's be honest, bro. The guy's older. He's almost 40 years old now. 39, 38 years old, however old he is. You can't
39.
play. Yeah, you can't have that play style with someone like Modric in the thing. So I noticed against Dortmund, they were holding their structure a lot more. It was clear, okay, Rodrigo's on the right, Vinny's on the left, and Mbappe's up top. You have Modric sitting in there with Valverde, and you have Jude being the free 10 rule. It's structured. But I remember saying, I feel like you guys kind of actually need, based on how the first half went, you guys kind of needed that chaos a little bit. Because I feel like, although sometimes I think it does confuse your own guys because everyone's all over the place, defending that, like, what the heck? How do you even defend that? How are you? What are you supposed to? That's what I mean,
right? Because the players are so good that even adds an extra element. Because then you have a Vinny to deal with. If you focus on him, you have Mbappe, Rodrigo.
That's what I mean.
You have Bellingham.
It gets weird, and like you kind of noticed it when in the second half they brought in Camavinga from Modric. Who, like I said, stallion. Like those guys can now go all over the place, run all over the place. I think at times they did look a little bit, I don't want to say lackadaisical, but just like they would just shut off, especially for I think it was the second goal that Dortmund scored. Lucas Vasquez fell asleep, or I don't know if he fell asleep or what. Like, don't get me wrong, I never like I don't think anyone's supposed to, you shouldn't assume that Lucas Vasquez is like a crazy athlete and to rely on athleticism, whatever. But like, brother, if that's your burst of speed, what are we doing? Good Lord, son, unhook the trailer. But yeah, I don't know. There's certain times where they have like these mental lapses where a lot of time, like even in the game today, I believe it was, at the time it was 2-2. And Courtois made that crazy kind of save where like it hit his back leg. Yeah, and it's just like, so obviously it helps. Like it helps to have someone like that in goal who's just been so reliable and everything like that. But yeah, I feel like at times you guys need to find the balance between like that chaos of we're all great players and everyone's interchangeable, but also staying to somewhat of a system of like a thing. Because yeah, to your point, like you said, you needed to implement tactics. I don't know what is the tactic. I don't know what the tactics are.
Like, what do you think be cooked up? Because you guys obviously got crazy talent all over the place. Right?
I think we got. Now go ahead, Jelani.
No, I was just saying, like, and so with all that talent available, it's like Skyler's saying, it's like a pick and choose type of thing. Obviously dependent on matchup, obviously dependent on the system of the opponent, right? But what do you think, or where do you think like Real Madrid should lean towards, like whether if it's Champions League, whether if it's just league play in general?
I feel like it should go through Bellingham. Because when I look at that team, that guy has such creativity, and even on some of those goals, it happened because he was moving or he was defending. I feel like playing him as a 10 and letting him make decisions for Vinny, fam, at any point you could pass the ball to Vinny, something's going to happen. But I feel like Bellingham in the middle, if they could play him in a more offensive role, I feel like it's going to be less disorganized, and he's not afraid to speak up. That's one thing that I like. And I feel kind of bad for him because I feel like he works harder than everybody else, but he barely gets the ball like this year to shoot. not more than Valverde. Not more than Valverde.
Thank you.
Outside
We're
of
good.
Valverde. Man,
Yeah.
Trust me, I watched every second. Valverde, there's nothing to say about it.
Yeah.
Outside of today, where I feel like he's wasted when he's played more defensively. I don't want Valverde. I want Valverde to be more like a box-to-box type of, let him do what he does. Don't just keep him at the back. I feel like that's kind of a waste of his talent because he could really shoot the ball. But, Bellingham. Give Bellingham the ball and see what happens.
Yeah, I feel like it's because you brought up the Valverde thing. That guy, out of everyone on your team, I'm not saying he's the best player on your team. He's one of the best, clearly. I think best player on your team. Yeah, but that guy is the most important player on your team. Like, it's not even, like, he has to be the out-and-out guy. He has to be playing as much as possible, because with him not in the team, all that disorganization stuff you guys do, you don't have that eraser. That guy is like, there's so many times where you're watching Real Madrid play and something will break down because for some reason Camavinga's up as a striker right now, and then Tchouameni's that left back, and now the whole center of your field is all just exposed. And this guy will just come out of nowhere like the damn road runner, pick the ball off, and we're going again because he just came from the right wing, even though he's supposed to be a center mid. He's all over the place. That guy, to me, by far, has to be your most important player. And I think, obviously injury bug, I feel like is a little crazy with Real Madrid all the time, but you got to hope and pray that it never touches him because that guy, I can't even stress enough how important that guy is.
Guys, breaking news. The Lakers beat the Timberwolves.
That is not breaking news, bro. Like,
80 dropped 36. 80 dropped 36. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
You guys have to think about it.
and then
Does
Julius.
that mean the Lakers are
What?
why not, bro?
We talking about a real team, Real Madrid, and we're talking
Okay,
Lakers.
And then we're
fine,
talking about the
fine,
Lakers.
fine.
We're talking about your team too, bro. What the heck?
I know, but isn't that kind of crazy? They beat the team that won to the conference finals last year.
It's game
Isn't
one,
that's
bro.
a good sign?
It's a good sign, but it's game one.
I know, but the Lakers, I feel like lost their first 10 games last season. That's why they were so down. That's why they were so like. If you're starting off like this,
Oh, you're not.
yeah.
Real Madrid more like you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
But
right. You're right.
speaking footy in general, I think because we're all pretty big fans of the guy, Paul Pogba, got his sentence reduced to 18 months. So I think it said that he could be back on the field in March, playing in March. What do you guys think about that? Where do you guys think he could end up? I heard, I don't know if anything came out about it, but I saw online anyways that they were looking to terminate his contract at Juventus. So that way he can just sign somewhere as a free agent. I'm not sure where he's leaning towards going. I feel like even the way I'm thinking of it now is like it's just like an ACL injury that he had. Basically, he had a bad injury. That's what I'm thinking of in my head. And now he's coming back.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean Real Madrid. Like you were saying, I don't think that can.
Nah, I don't think so either.
That's not gonna happen. It would have been cool from before, but I don't think. I think realistically, he's probably either gonna go Saudi or MLS. I think I'd put Saudi just a little bit ahead. He could go there. I know Marseille was one of. We could talk about Marseille another time, but Marseille is becoming one of those unethical teams, bro. Just employing a bunch of these guys with questionable morals. You know what I mean? I don't want to lump Pogba in there, but you don't have to talk on that. But
is Pogba the John Morant of football?
No. But Marseille's on the cards. I saw him say in an interview that he was open to a United move. I don't even want that. I'm a United fan. I don't even want that for him. I don't want him to have to go through that kind of.
I would love to see him back.
Because the thing is, bro, he would walk into the team. He walks into the 11, and is like the best player on the team. Yeah,
bro, our 11,
PSG could work.
PSG could work for sure.
Cola, Dembele, you got Pogba to set them up.
For sure, that could work. I guess it kind of boils down to like.
You like Saudi, like.
That's what I'm saying.
That's because the money talks, bro.
I don't want it. I don't want it. Right? I'd rather him play somewhere in Europe, but the money, like you said, the money talks. So if they have a good enough pitch, hey,
I think
that's like ending your career, fam. That's ending your career.
I think it boils down to like, what is your guys' expectations of him realistically? Like how good do you think he can still be? I'm not expecting to see a prime Paul Pogba, but genuinely, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way to think, because I don't think it's a disrespect at all. But I could see him just being a Tony Cruz, where you're just pinging balls left, right, and center. Pogba has a range of passing that we've never seen before. Well, not never seen before. What? No. If we're, I can.
A comeback version of Paul Pogba after not playing to Tony Cruz? Really?
Yeah, no, I can't.
That's what you do right now?
No, brother. Watch Pogba passing. Just watch Pogba's passing. Watch Tony Cruz. He can fit that role. As a pivot, he can fit that role.
Bro, he hasn't played in how long?
That does not affect your range of passing. I'm sorry, it doesn't affect it.
But they're gonna compare that version of Pogba to Tony Cruz, fam?
Yes. Yes, I am.
What?
I'm not saying he's gonna be a prime Tony
Like,
Cruz, but I'm saying
I was about to ask. Like, he's not saying. I don't think Skyler said.
I'm not saying he's a prime Tony Cruz, but I'm
First, like,
saying that kind of player, he is that.
The role, yeah, I think the role, yeah,
And I
but
think
not like
yeah, that's what Skyler
And I
said.
think
He's
as
saying,
far
like,
as the
role.
rest of the midfielders in the world go, he's gonna be the closest thing to that. There's no one else that can sit like that and especially in a tight spaces like in the midfield, because you have a whole bunch of great passers in football, but they're usually higher up the pitch where it's not. I don't want to say freer, but you have more of a free role. Pogba can sit deeper in the midfield, comfortable under pressure, way more comfortable than I don't think that anybody. I think technically speaking, like in terms of technique and everything, he's top 2 all time midfielders. Technically speaking, I think it might just be Zidane that's a little higher than him. Pogba's done certain things with the ball that I've never even seen before. I remember seeing when he was on Juventus all this BS where he would be flicking the ball up, heading it over people. Guys are draped on his back, and then he got the move to United, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but you can't do that in the Premier League because the Premier League's so physical, da-da-da. And that guy dog walked everyone in the Premier League too. Technically speaking, that guy is that guy's a phenomenon. I don't know anyone that's young right now that's looking like that, looking like how he was at that age. Let's not forget when he was on Juventus, that guy was FIFA All Pro 11 with all the Real Madrid guys, all the Barcelona guys, everything.
But like, okay, in that position, you're right. But fam, right now, Lamine Yamal is as good as any at 17, fam.
I'm talking about midfielders. Midfielders.
Okay, midfielders. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not talking about forwards or anything like that. But yeah, no, I think he can be that kind of Tony Cruz-esque player for a team. Be the general, because Tony Cruz, I think that's something that Real Madrid still needs to fill, by the way. Just a tempo setter. That's the most important thing in world football. And Paul Pogba can be a tempo setter. I think he's not going to do... I don't think he's going to have no more of those cut through the midfield, dribbling past everybody. Maybe he'll give you 1 or 2 a game, but he's getting older, so I wouldn't rely on him to do that. But in terms of, even though he's coming back from 18 months, maybe give him a few games, but your range of passing is your range of passing. Technique is technique. You don't forget that.
He's like the last version of Tony Cruz. Because
I don't know about the last, but I can't think of someone else that can play like that right now sustainably.
Okay, so you're just talking about the play style. You're not
play
saying
style.
like,
You're not saying that he's gonna be him. He's not saying.
I never said that. However, if we wanted to get into primes and who we're picking, I don't know. Biasly, I'm picking Pogba, but Tony Cruz is Tony Cruz. Don't get me wrong. That guy doesn't even have a prime. That guy's been great his whole career.
Yeah.
But Pogba has an X factor. Yaya Toure, only other guy I can think of, 6'3", 6'4", technique out the gym.
He's a tank.
Yeah, tank. He's a locomotive. Like that guy, that guy's thing.
But like here, I feel like Cruz might be more adaptable. I think if Cruz played for Man U when Pogba did, Cruz would have done better.
But then this is what I'm saying. They're different players back then.
But
Pogba does things that Cruz couldn't even imagine doing, and that's not even a slight to Cruz. Cruz couldn't even imagine dribbling through a midfield like that. He wouldn't even try it.
Y'all wasn't outside.
Emmanuel, be honest, bro.
It's easier. No. What I'm saying is, you could fit Cruz into most systems. I don't think Pogba fits into every system, fam.
You're right.
Cruz that's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't know about he fits into more systems. They fit into different systems, for sure. I don't know about if he fits into more systems. Because if you're going to play Cruz, guess what? You need a Casemiro. You need someone that's going to be that engine, because he's not that. And it's the same with Pogba. Pogba's a very offensive player. That's why it worked with France, because you got N'Golo Kante, who's got 17 lungs, and then with the World Cup, you had Blaise Matuidi also, and then you had Antoine Griezmann. All these guys are doing the dirty work for him, so he said, hey, be creative. Go do whatever you want to do. Toni Kroos is a little bit similar, but they were different players. I think Pogba was a little bit more offensive than Kroos was in terms of getting up there and trying to score and trying to, be more of an attacker, everything like that. But, I think when he comes back, I think he can be that. I think he can be that kind of player. Tempo setter.
Do a pool. I feel like most people would agree with me, bro.
Then most people don't know ball. You're just... Most people don't know ball. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it to you, but
Telling you, bro. But Cruz is the ultimate winner, fam.
for sure. That guy's an all-time great. You can't take that away from him. That guy's an all-time great. I do think the stats near the end were a tad inflated because it's like 100% pass completion, but 50 of them were sideways and backwards. So it's like,
fair, but we're not taking anything away.
Yeah, you can't take nothing away from him. That guy's an all-time great. That guy's one of the greatest midfielders of this generation. Point blank period.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? You can't really argue with it. But yeah, that's the sports section. Ooh, it's supposed to be an hour-long podcast. We are about 2 hours into this, bro. First episode, we're gonna tighten it up in weeks to come. You know what I mean? But entertainment now. Emmanuel, what are we saying? Talk to me about the music industry, bro.
All right, well, the music industry is changing. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but like even like Glorilla, for example, that album is set to be a big like success, but she only sold like 60K first week because all the numbers are like down in the industry. Like I think it's because like Spotify and all the DSPs. So every year they do like a annual check-in or quarterly check-in to be like we're projected to make this, and that helps a lot like in them like selling the companies and stuff. But now they've kind of reached the point where everybody's already kind of subscribed, so there's not like potential for them to get more subscriptions.
You've hit the
which
cap
is slow
already,
it down.
basically.
Exactly, So now that's why you're seeing now like subtle changes, like Drake and Kendrick going on Instagram to post their songs, J. Cole not going on DSPs to drop that Port Antonio freestyle, Like they're trying to find, because apparently I think Meta made a deal with UMG, which then Meta owns Instagram. So it's kind of like they're more incentivized to kind of drop on Instagram now. That's why some of the bigger names are kind of moving from DSPs to Instagram. So I think like Instagram and YouTube are kind of gonna fight back and forth, But it's an interesting time in music. Like all the labels are just firing people because it's kind of like how music works is like I give you an advance, but that's a loan. It's like a bank. I need to recoup off of that. But music isn't as like productive as it was before. So now the labels, which are the banks, are not recouping anymore. So they need to cut their losses. So it's like for the next year, artists out there, I would say maybe just don't sign that deal because right now there ain't no money. So they're not gonna put money into you for you to recoup your deal. So It's just like and I think the Kendrick and the Drake thing kind of helped. But at the same time, I low-key feel like it would have been better for the culture if they actually like made a song together or something like that. If they show like a more unified.
I don't think that's gonna happen
like,
now, gang. Those guys are saying some vile shit.
It's not happening anymore, but I think that would have been better than what the beef did. I feel like the beef just kind of separated people even more. Yeah. And it's kind of like at this time, if artists were unified, they could put a line in the sand to be like, hey, we have all the power. We're the artists. You guys got to play ball. But now it's kind of like, bro, every band for themselves, bro. Get what you can.
Yeah, I mean, what I mean, not to bring up old stuff, but let's get into it. Drake and Kendrick. What do we say? I know, obviously, Jiggy's a huge Kendrick Lamar fan. Emmanuel's a huge Drake fan. What are we saying? How are we getting into it?
Look, I'm past it. It ran its course. I know Kendrick. Didn't he drop something else the other day?
Yeah, watch the party die. That was trash.
It wasn't trash. It wasn't trash, but it just wasn't anything special. It was it was a listen that was calm. It was a calm listen. Doesn't make or break anything in this beef. I think it was. No. I'm not.
If Drake would have dropped that, you would have been like, "Yo, look at that! That's Liquid NyQuil, this is terrible,
NyQuil now ran out of the NyQuil. I gotta go to Shoppers Drug Mart. But no, I think honestly though, I think it was good. I think it was good that we had this beef. Because
think so?
I think it was good for some people. I think it's good for Kendrick, for example.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
definitely.
but fam, that was the
Definitely be
plan.
top.
Yeah.
Because look, as a Kendrick guy, y'all know, like the past couple years before he dropped
Be
Mr.
honest.
Mor, I was like, what? Like, where you at? Like, bro, I need music. I need something from you. What? Like, we're starving.
And even Mr. Morale, fam. Name me 3 songs off of Mr. Morale right now.
Huh?
Name me 3
Yeah.
songs of Mr. Morale. Name me 3 songs of Mr.
N95, N95.
Nigga
What?
said the same song
Awkward.
twice. Nigga said only
No,
twice.
yo, you put me on the spot. Put me on the
Yeah,
spot.
exactly. That's my point.
And
Nah,
That's
this
my
is
point,
crazy.
dude.
This is diabolical. I ain't gonna lie, this is crazy.
Look at him. Look, looking at his phone.
yeah,
Look, he's trying to
yeah,
get
we at 12 a.m. right now. We at 12 a.m.
All right,
1
you got
a.m.
it. No, you proved my point, fam. That was
Holy.
my
But,
point.
but overall, though, like I did like the project, but I'm saying though, as a Kendrick fan, it was like, bruh, we wanted him to drop something, right? It had been a minute, so this beef obviously allowed him to get back in that studio. I did respect both sides of it. I know guys on both sides. Like there's people on their side, whatever side they were on, that was disrespecting the other side, like in terms of like their fans, saying this and this or whatever. I respected what Drake dropped. I look the beef happened. I like Drake. Okay, I think people forget that. Not you, but I'm saying in general. Because as much as I like Kendrick, I like Drake a lot. You know what I mean? And I think that people need to understand this too. I still spin Family Matters to this day. Like I spun
Me
it
too.
yesterday.
Me too.
You
Yesterday
know,
too.
like that's just a banger.
This is hard.
Okay,
It's hard.
and so that second pocket,
Yeah.
that's my pocket right there. And then the third
That's,
pocket, all right. Kendrick just opened it. All right, it's time.
yeah,
I'm
come
not
on,
gonna
man.
I'm not gonna gas you up too much.
Oh, man.
Here's your uncle. Anyway, yeah, but yeah, I think it was good just for hip hop to have something, because I don't know about y'all, but there's just been some periods where it's like I'm looking at hip hop. It's like they need like something, like
It's
a
been a
spark. They
lull.
need and look. I like Future. I think Future is also one of the guys on in terms of this like era. He's on that Mount Rushmore. But if you're not looking at him, if you're not looking at Kendrick, Drake, Cole, whoever, it's like where else are you getting that spark from in the rap game? So I know they were against each other rather than together on a track together, but I think it was great because everyone was talking about it. Obviously, huge views for both sides, big discourse both sides, whether true or false, whatever the stories, whatever the punchlines were. But in general, it just brought something to the hip hop table that I needed to see, because I think it was just like, again, before that, right? What was really going on? To be honest, like not much, right? So I don't know about you guys, but I think it was fine. Like I don't got no issue with the beef happening this year. I think it was, when we're looking back on 2024 in hip hop and rap, what's the first thing we're going to bring up? This battle, and I think it's good moving forward. I think it's good.
Do you think?
You know what? No, go ahead, Sky.
I was gonna say, do you think this kind of opens up a door for more rap beef between like A-list guys?
Okay.
These are big guys, you know what I mean? Because I feel like you see rap beef before, but it's usually like, I don't want to say like C tier, but not like, not the biggest names you're gonna see. You know what I mean? Now that I feel like this is the first time, at least that I'm not the biggest hip hop junkie, but I feel like this is like damn near in modern rap, anyways. This is like two heavyweights going toe to toe. You know what I mean? What do you guys
It's
think? I
probably
don't know.
in my opinion, it's the biggest one that we had in
Since
a long time. You know what I'm
since
saying?
Nas
Like
and
you,
Drake.
yeah, you'll bring that one up for sure. And I think, again, that's why I'm saying, like, I find it to be okay that it happened, because I just think we got the discourse. We're talking about it right now. I like that. I like conversations about it. And I know people disagree on who won it, whatever. But at the end of the day, I think it was kind of cool, and we got some good music out of it too. We did.
I see. My thing with that is, and why I disagree is that, man, why always when it comes to black people, bro, for us to have a spark, why it always gotta be something negative, bro? Why every time we're lacking something? Because now what we're teaching our kids is Yo, you guys want a little boost in your streams? Bro, even rappers came out and said this. Some next rappers hit them up to just be like, yo, let's create a fake beef just for the views,
Mm.
you know? I'm just
Yeah,
like, bro, like, as black people, bro, we be like, we want to help each other and be better and be like other communities that are together and stuff, but we don't take the steps towards that. We kind of glorify the opposite of that. We glorify each other fighting where the people above, who makes the most money? It wasn't Kendrick, it wasn't Drake, fam. It was the head of the labels, you know? Whoever's cutting the checks. So I'm like, is it good? It's good for the hip hop like books and the pages, but to
For the
me, it's kind of
culture.
like that culture also is flawed, you know,
Mm.
because in our culture, it's mano a mano instead of yo, let's actually do this and take us to the next level. I think Cole, Drake, Kendrick get on one song or even do an album and bring lyricism back. It has more positive and great impact than this beef, you know.
Mm.
And I like, obviously, you know, I have my, but in general, I feel like sometimes the premise around hip hop is kind of counterproductive to the black community.
Yeah, no,
That's how
I
I
ain't gonna
feel.
lie to you. That's a very interesting topic. So like, you think the stuff that's going on in the music industry does affect the culture?
100 fam. Look at Sexy Red, bro. But you guys have to think about it. We're going
You're not
more and
lying.
more left, and people are more and more liking it. But why is it only when it's us, fam? Why can't they have some slutty? Like, why? You feel me? Like, why us? Why us? The poison is like pushed. The poison is embellished. They want to teach our little daughters to twerk and listen to
Yeah.
Sexy Red,
I mean, I
listen to
don't listen to
Ice
Sexy
Ice,
Red.
and
No,
I mean,
but
I like Gorilla though, like for example, but
I
yeah,
yeah,
think
I listen
Emmanuel's
to
onto something because it's like you don't have to listen to Sexy Red or Ice Spice. I don't listen to that, and I know what's going on. You know what I mean? So, shoot, yeah, I guess I never really thought about it in the way of how it affects the youth or just I don't want to say yeah, no, youth and like smaller upcoming rappers because yeah, now you're laying the guys at the front are laying the blueprint for everybody else. So if you guys are acting this certain kind of way, people are really just gonna follow suit 9 times
and
out of
my
10.
thing is, how do you guys think the other communities look at us, bro? No disrespect, but the people at the
Talk
okay,
about
I'm
like
not gonna go.
ethnically.
And I'm fun. Yeah, but like, fam, look, like we're always like mad about people looking down on us, but I feel like we kind of look down or we tear each other down. So for them to look at us, they're like, "Oh, look at these guys! They're fighting between each other again. They're killing each other again." You know, when it's like, bro, we could really change that narrative, and it starts with the people at the top. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's why Cole, like, I kind of feel some way about Cole, but after Port Antonio, I somewhat understand. You know, I think
I like that.
Kendrick. I
I
don't
listen.
like the Kendrick like yeah, I like that record too, but I don't like the Kendrick angle because he's the antagonist when it comes to all this. He's the self-admitted hater. He says he's the biggest hater, you know? And
Mm.
I feel like that's kind of like counter what he's supposed to be, right? Because he's supposed to be the
Don't
hip
you always
hop
want to be
state
the top dog though? Like in anything, like you want to be the top dog. So like
for
in
sure.
rap,
But
like
there's
you
a
always
way to go about it. There's a way
Yeah,
to go about it because if I'm the rap savior and I'm also the biggest hater, what does that say about rap?
you're right. You're not lying. If
It
that's the
makes
way that
for
for you to get to the top is like
so like you're saying that Kendrick should have taken a different approach, I guess,
yes. I'm saying
following first person shooter or something. Like
first person shooter mode, and I'm the biggest Drake fan probably in here, but Cole killed him on that track. We can all admit that Cole went crazy on first person. You know, or like, well, it's debatable, but I feel like you could
yeah,
have
I
done
wouldn't say
something like
killed
that.
him, but he had a good performance on there.
Yeah, because that last verse, that Drake's that last verse, he woke up a little bit. But I feel like in general, fam, like poetic justice, that's like a debate
Yeah,
we'll
no, I
have
love
for
that
any
song.
who had the better verse on there. You know, they could have done something like that where you could still prove you're the best without infusing our culture with so much hate. Like now we talk about pedophiles and women beaters and it's
the
kind of
wrong
So you're
crazy.
things
saying they
get
should have
glorified.
had, so you're saying they should have had a record together or
Yes, and
something
see who's the
like you're
best.
saying, you know, when Ye and Drake, it was fake beef. It was just filler.
Come on.
But you know what happened in the Hoover concert over there in LA at the Coliseum when they were together. You're saying having a moment with Kenny and Drizzy together would have
Yeah.
brought people together. That's your point.
And change something, you know. And fam, to your point, like I know you might think it's fake, but I don't know if that Drake and
NBA.
Kanye was fake.
I just think it was like, around the time of the albums and stuff, they were just trying to like, because then Kanye would come out and say, "Oh yeah, I love Drake, I love this," and then he would
Yeah,
like, yeah, you know him already.
yeah. But let me ask you a question: when did Drake come out and say that though? But that's the thing with Kanye, right? He's gonna diss you and then be like, "Yo, but I like this guy. I
Yeah.
like this guy, man," because he's bipolar also, right? But
Right,
when
right.
you look at it, there's clips, there's very old clips of Drake in like 2005 talking about how Kanye is playing with him and he's mad. Even in those clips, back then when he was working with Tez, Tez was his manager and he was like, "Yo, Kanye's gonna piss me off, bro. Kanye, because he told me he was gonna give me these beats and he still hasn't sent them to me." Kanye has been trying to like cradle Drake to sleep for a minute, fam. And I think at that point, that's when Drake had realized. That's why he's like no friends in the industry. That's why there's nonstop. That's why there's mob ties because he realizes that these people are using him. They don't really care about what happens to him, you know. And if it was fake, why would Kanye then now come like, "Yo, Kendrick hit me up. I'm so excited for the extermination of the Jewish guy." You feel me? Like, you feel
Holy
me?
crap.
Yeah,
It's that. Like, and I'm like,
Yeah.
if it was fake, you don't need to be on that
yeah,
anymore,
nah,
bro.
I got you.
You feel
Yeah.
me? These guys
I
are
think what makes
Kanye's
it
just
worse. I think what makes it worse is like for the bigger part of however what 5 years, bigger part of 5 years, you don't really hear nothing from Kendrick, and then he just pops out with guns
Pops out.
blazing, and then it's
He says
yeah,
he got
I'm
a pop
going at the
out
top
show.
dog.
Skyler. You got to think about it. I'm gonna break this down to you guys so you guys get it right. I'm Kendrick Lamar. Mr. Morale is my last album on my contract. That's the part that everybody's missing. Because after that, and that album didn't do that well, if we're being honest. But after that, he's free. So
Mm.
what now? To garner the most attention, to make the most money, because now I own most of my music, I'm gonna go at the biggest artist. Because I'm now launching my new brand, PG Lang. I gotta this was the best marketing scheme he could have came up with for him being independent and starting his own thing now. Because he has the whole world talking about him. It's genius when you think about it, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
if you
because
break it
Mr.
down.
Morale didn't really do much. So he had to be like, okay, but now I'm out the deal. So all this money is gonna come straight to me. Now's
Okay,
the time to do it.
so tying it to the culture thing that you were talking about before, right? Let's say that's Kendrick's motivation for the whole beef, right? Are you putting more of that blame on how it affects the culture on Kendrick for initiating it, or are you putting more of the blame on Drake for retaliating and also because you could have dropped whatever you dropped, but if I'm not answering you, then it doesn't really matter.
That's true, but if I don't answer you, my legacy, the narrative around my career is different forever.
Is it
Because
though?
it's always been Drake and Kendrick until Drake went pop. So now there is no more Drake and Kendrick, but
Mm,
for the hip hop, for the core hip hop people, it's
mm,
always been Kendrick. So now Kendrick is calling you out and you're not gonna say anything.
mm.
And Drake is a fan. Drake is a Toronto man. He's like, yo, you think the man's gonna
Yeah.
diss you, bro? And you're just gonna be like, yo, fam, you know what? You got it, bro. You got it. Nah, bro. Yo, if I'm the top guy, I gotta carry that too. This is a blood sport. That's why Cole will never be the top guy, fam. Because he's not built like that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
gotta
it's
you
just
gotta get
not
dirty, fam.
cut from a different cloth. Like, and you saw it obviously with what went down, but like I feel like I don't, on the subject of Cole real quick, I feel like if he wanted to, like, if he honestly wanted to engage in like a beef per se, he could, but it would run its course. You know what I mean? Like I think he could find a way to enter that. He has the skill set, right?
But he
But
has
I
no
just think,
ammo.
yeah, that's why I say it would run its course. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
He
y'all
has
agree
no
with that?
ammo, you know?
Yeah.
He
Because I
doesn't want
like
to get
Cole,
dirty like
but
the other
there's
guy.
there are limits to his game. I think.
He's
I
got
as
morals.
much as
He's got morals.
Yeah, he
That's what
got
it
morals, but that's the point.
is.
I think that's the point right there. Because
Mm,
the other two, they're willing to go down. If you're gonna take down Kendrick, fam, you can't diss his albums, the classics, fam. Most of
yeah.
them, you can't say that put people to sleep. Nah, fam, he's the rap savior. You gotta
Yeah.
go big, deep, fam.
Yeah.
I don't think Cole wanted to do that.
See, so it just gets into the community in general, bro. People are taking to the wrong stuff because we can't sit here and act like Cole isn't Cole. You know what I mean? He's still like that, but people are still taking to violence and confrontation and Ray, this, that, and the third because everyone's on about Drake and Kendrick.
I think it's Cole set himself up because he's always been like, I'm the best guy. I will out rap. I would kill anybody. So he kind of set himself up on this pedestal. So
Mm.
now when it's time to prove it, and we see you like you dip a toe in, and you're like, I don't like this water anymore. I don't want to play anymore. You're
Yeah.
not invited to the next playground, fam. Next time we play around, you're not invited, guys. Stay home.
Yeah, you're
Hey,
not
you feel
wrong.
me?
Still, yeah. I don't know. I feel like ah, let's save that for next week, bro. We can get into that a lot more. Though. How it affects the culture, because I feel that's a very interesting point. I feel like, maybe that's something we could dive into a little bit more. But yeah, man, 3-hour podcast.
Yeah.
Northside Talks episode 1.
Yes, sir.
But without any further ado, it's me, your boy Skyler Gonzales, joined by the two legends themselves, Jelani Goodridge-Reid, Emmanuel Creppin. Be back next week, weekly episodes. Probably by the weekend, I guess. It's Tuesday today. Probably get it out by the weekend. And then we go again next Tuesday and so on and so forth. But yeah, man, thank y'all for listening. And peace.